And welcome to the Kongversation. I wasn't doing a pirate voice.
No, I was hoping you would.
I'm actually coming down with a little bit of something, a touch of the flu. So pray for me, Chad. I'm Hyle Russell.
And I'm Chad McCanna. Rape the women and sanitize your image in the public consciousness. It's Talk Like a Pirate Day 2015.
Oh, wait. Is Bill Cosby's lawyers, are they pirates? Because that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, you really want to sanitize your public image after a debacle like that.
Yeah, or at least hide it for 30 years while the entertainment industry turns a blind eye because he's such a beloved figure.
Yeah, are you talking about Roof and All or the Swiss Family Robinson?
You know, sanitization of public image. Come on.
I know. He actually
keep up, Russell. Keep up.
He used Quaaludes, though.
Oh, that's the part that you were confused about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you know, Ludes, Roof and All.
Hashtag Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Jesus. We're off to a great start, folks.
We're off to a fantastic start. I feel great about this start. This is the greatest start of any starts of any podcast that has ever started. So, Chad.
Most of them usually do. Yeah.
Every year, and by every year I mean the last 2 years and then this year, we have celebrated Talk Like a Pirate Day on the Kongversation. And that's because we like pirates. But this year, and you said this at E3, you was like, well, we've got to do something for Talk Like a Pirate Day this year because we have a reason to.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would say.
It actually was. In our shitty Airbnb, you turned to me as you're picking the hair out of your toes.
What? Is that something I do?
No, the hair that accumulated in your feet from
I thought you meant like my own toe hairs. I'm just idly picking.
No. I meant the disgusting, like, just, I don't know, carpets full of human hair that had accumulated.
The pubesplosion.
Yeah, that had accumulated on the floor of our Airbnb. It was a lovely place.
Mm-hmm. I left them a shining review.
Oh, yes. We've already touched upon that here on the Kongversation. So anyway, if you hadn't gathered from my...
Here on the Kongversation. So pretentious.
We are on the Kongversation. We are having a conversation right now.
That's right.
So if you haven't gathered from what I was hinting at, we are going to be talking about Sea of Thieves this week. And apropos, right?
Yeah. Considering it's Talking Like a Pirate. What do you want validation? Like,
yes, I always want validation.
My original idea was quite a good one.
I always want validation, Chad. I'm in desperate need of it.
You're a podcaster, after all.
Every single day of my life. It's not like I'm being paid for this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you don't get into this line of work without some significant self-esteem issues.
Oh, absolutely.
Sarah Koenig was a cutter.
Anyway, so we're going to have a lot of show to get to, so let's just get straight to the due diligence. We're going to be taking some of your calls here, so if you want to call the DK Vine hotline and be like some of the fine folks you're about to hear, call 1-281-410-KONG 5664. Do you want to sing that and a sea chanty set, Chad?
If you want to call the Kongversation, it's 1-281-410 and a rape. That rape is Kong 5664.
Rapey Kong. That's you're really on the rape kick this week.
Look, I'm just a big fan of Pirates of the Pancreas, all right? That's a reference you don't get because you don't fucking watch Rick and Morty, Hyle.
Well, I'm guessing it was this Gilbert and Sullivan riff.
No, it was a theme park riff.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it wasn't a Penzance thing. It was Caribbean.
Okay, because that would have been great if Aaron Sorkin guest wrote an episode of Rick and Morty.
No, it would not at all. Rick and Morty, now with more pretension.
I know, like, rape and pillage is a thing that pirates say they do, but I don't really associate the raping with the pirates anymore.
Well, you don't because their image has been sanitized. But honestly, it's a lot more fun to think of pirates as these romantic seafaring caricatures.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of like rednecks of the sea that they actually were.
The rednecks of the sea, yeah. Yeah, really, they were. Crack just hadn't been invented yet. Or actually meth. Meth is more appropriate.
And Oxycontin, yeah. Which is...
Oh, I don't know, Hyle. Oxycontin's kind of... That's a little highfalutin for rednecks, wouldn't you say?
Isn't that called the hillbilly heroin?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I figured that would just be meth. See, you're more well versed in hillbilly drug culture than I am.
Well, a girl's got to make her living somehow. Anyway,
so much hillbilly heroin has been shoved up your ass.
Before any historians listening take umbrage at our declaration of love for pirates, it should be pointed out that we're in love with the fictitious, romanticized pirates, made popular by Johnny Depp and his ilk. Also,
yeah, I think the Kongversation should go down as anti-rape. Let's just be clear about that.
Yes, please. Let's be clear about that.
Like, why are you making this clarification? Obviously,
why are you making rape? Okay.
That's fair. I feel like we've inverted our roles a little bit. We're going through a little Freaky Friday situation here.
Usually I would start an episode talking about how I like to fill a nice supple butt full of cream, and you would be like,
and I would start an episode as Jamie Lee Curtis.
What? Freaky Friday. Wasn't that okay? Wasn't that a remake though? Wasn't there an original Freaky Friday?
Yeah, with like the mom from the Brady Bunch or something. I don't know, some actress from the 70s. I don't know.
The only working actresses in the 70s was the mom from the Brady Bunch
and Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary Tyler Moore. I was going to say the mom from the Partridge Family, but
oh right. Well, Mary Tyler Moore was the non-mom variation.
That's right. She was a working single lady, childless.
Right. And Lou Grant just had a heart of gold.
Am I allowed to say lady anymore, or is that considered?
No, you can say lady.
I can still say lady? Okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
Lady. That's the preferred pronunciation, but
well, in that case, I'll never say it again.
PC police win again.
And if you want to take any issues with what Chad and I are saying, you can join the DK Vine forum at dkvine.com/forum. Talk Like a Pirate Day. We don't really talk like a pirate much anymore. I remember when Talk Like a Pirate Day first gained notoriety, everybody would talk like...
I remember when it meant something.
Everybody talked like a pirate on the DK Vine forum, but then there was the war on Talk Like a Pirate Day started by big city liberals, and all of a sudden you couldn't wish anybody a happy Talk Like a Pirate Day. It was happy September 19th.
Right. Yeah, really disgusting. But so I guess that cultural war is still underway, huh?
I can't have a rape and pillage scene in my front yard before people are telling me to put up a menorah next to it.
It is absolutely disgusting that disgusting scene is not allowed. Whatever happened to freedom of rape? Okay, I'm not even going to...
No. We're done.
Let's not start amending the Constitution to be pro-rape on the Kongversation. Let's just abandon this line of joking immediately.
Although I'm sure that's going to be an issue with the 2020 campaign. So anyway, subscribe to this horrible show on iTunes, or rate us on iTunes. Don't even. No. Okay. I had to do the callback. I had to do the historical callback because you left it wide open. Mm-hmm. Follow DK Vine.
Innuendo.
Follow DK Vine on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, and sometimes Instagram.
Right.
So
it's the Y of social media vowels.
Tell any romantic pirates you know about the show. If there are any authentic historical pirates, don't let them know, because
or authentic contemporary pirates. Don't tell them about the show either.
The Somalian pirates, you mean?
That's right.
Yeah. Don't tell them. Yeah, we're anti-Somalian pirate. I'm just going to say. Although, I'm sure if you look at the hardships that they face, they had to turn to piracy to support their families. So I shouldn't be so judgmental.
I got to see a pirate show. I was on holiday this last week, and I saw
pirate show. Didn't you go to Colorado?
Yeah, I went to Colorado. We ate at you may not be familiar with the brilliance that is Casa Bonita, not being a South Park fan, but
no, I saw that episode. Okay.
So it's a real place, and it's it's like the saddest place on earth. But we ate there as we were driving out of Denver to the mountains.
Wait, did you fly out of the creepy airport in Denver?
The Denver airport, is it a creepy one? It seemed kind of nice.
The one everybody says is like it's going to be a staging ground for the New World Order.
What? Maybe
it's got that creepy horse out front with the red eyes, and they had those murals.
Oh yeah, you mean the Denver Bronco? Yeah, that was the airport.
And it depicted all those scenes that people said was about World War III and how it's a lot of conspiracy bunk, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, we did, took a double take at that giant blue horse with the red eyes, and then we realized, oh, it's a football mascot. Okay, moving on.
Conspiracy theories have gone downhill ever since Fox Mulder retired, so I'm glad he's coming back.
Oh, I think you may be alone there between the two of us, but that's for another episode. That's for our X-Files podcast spinoff.
Yeah, that's for another episode. That's for every episode of the conversation.
Every single one. No, I ate at Casa Bonita. Janelle and I did, and it's very, very sad, the whole thing, because there are cliff divers, but those are also like the same people who are like doing the dishes back behind the scenes, and it's just
wouldn't they just save time and like dive with the dishes?
They should have, actually,
to like a soapy water underneath.
Well, the water did have like soapy bubbles. It was like that gross kind of not quite chlorinated enough water. There was a shootout between Black Bart and the sheriff. There was a show that was just on the program. They give you a program at your table.
Wait. A shootout between Black Bart and the sheriff. Is that going to be like a special episode of The Simpsons where they touch upon Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, they actually brought in George Zimmerman to guest.
The Simpsons are going to Florida.
There was a show that was just called Gorilla.
My kind of show. I like this.
It was a little after. Well, there was also a pirate show, and it was relatively unremarkable. But Gorilla was amazing. It was. It took place on the same cliff that the cliff diving happens. And, like, this whole restaurant is sort of centered confusingly, and like there are tables, so they seemingly want you to pay attention to the person sitting right across from you and engage as a human being, but then they have these cliff diving and Old West shootout shows happening, so you have to crane your neck and not quite see it all that well. And they so desperately want to brand everything, and like they kept repeatedly, they would have an announcer who would come on and call Casa Bonita the most exciting restaurant in the world. And
it sounds like it is.
They want it so badly to be a chain, and I think only the one exists. Maybe there's a second location.
I've never had a pirate fight break out at Olive Garden, so point for Casa Bonita.
It was quite an experience, but yeah, Gorilla. It had a man in a full body gorilla suit, being presented by the world's best gorilla trainer. But that gorilla, I guarantee it didn't want to be trained, or maybe it was feeling like a little mischief, because eventually, it wound up throwing the world's best gorilla trainer off the cliff into the water.
I didn't see that coming. That coming.
There were I thought this would be kind of lame, especially for kids, the target audience. They would barely look up from their cell phones, but man, they were enthralled. Like anyone from age 4 to 11 was eating this shit up. It was like the gorilla would run around, and then the trainer literally took out a giant novelty butterfly net and started chasing the gorilla around all the tables, and the kids were just squealing with laughter.
Wow.
Casa Bonita, the most exciting restaurant on earth. It had a pirate show.
We really need to maybe hold the Kongversation there. Sounds
that
like
might be a good idea. Yeah.
When you said you saw a pirate fight, I thought maybe how Coors taps the Rockies. I thought maybe there was going to be like galleons on like the beer flowing out of the Rockies.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Wait. So like just stranded a galleon on top of the Rocky Mountains, like it was Noah's Ark, and just have beer pouring from it?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll buy it.
All right. Well, we've got a lot of show to get to. Thank you for regaling us with Tales of Casa Bonita. It does sound exciting.
We didn't even get to the most important part of my vacation. I finally finished Deep Space Nine and moved on to Voyager.
So how did the saga of Vic Fontaine conclude in your eyes? Like was it rewarding? Was it satisfying?
I honestly can't tell if you have also drunk the Vic Fontaine Kool-Aid and somehow appreciate this abortion of a character. It's such a bad idea. It's such a bad idea.
But you didn't find it moving when they found a way to have him basically remain active even when nobody was around? Like, he was a program that they all loved, and they gave that program eternal life.
Yeah, there was another program everyone loved, and his name was Data. He just happened to live inside a robot body. Like,
okay, there's another program you love, another computer simulation, and his name is Donkey Kong, Chad.
That's true. I do love that computer.
Wouldn't you love it if Donkey Kong could live even when you weren't playing the game?
You jest, but I think we might have a call that postulates that exact scenario.
Really? Well, before we get to the calls, I want to discuss some non-pirate related news, which believe it or not, there's been news this week that isn't pirate related. So
yeah, it's all Star Trek related.
Well, it's Star Fox related.
So
this
what happened this week?
SpaghettiOs, or Star Fox Heroes.
Star Fox Zeros, yep.
So
checks out, has all the definite hallmarks of a pun. I'll allow it.
We're not giving full coverage to Star Fox Zero because it's not a Donkey Kong Universe game that we know of. But yeah, apparently their big November game has been delayed till next year.
Yeah, so that's two for Nintendo on holiday 2016. It was
Zelda.
It was Zelda, yeah. And now Star Fox. I feel like they might as well just just give Woolly World another month delay and let that be, at least for the American region, their big holiday release.
That barely counts, though. That I don't know. Like,
no, of course it barely counts. I'm just embittered that everyone I know that doesn't live in America has already, played the game to exhaustion, and I'm not going to get to play it for another fucking month.
Well, hopefully, Nintendo got a new president this week. Which is
that's right.
Other news we could discuss. And he was former CEO of Nintendo of America. So I'm hoping that he actually lived in America for an extended period of time. He speaks fluent English. Wow. I'm hoping that maybe Nintendo of America will be built back up into... I mean, it's never been torn down, but I'm hoping it will be more of an equal partner with Nintendo of Japan moving forward.
Or maybe they'll go a different direction, and Reggie will make Nintendo more a partner with Pizza Hut, his old alma mater.
Pizza. Oh God. I mean, I would be okay with Little Caesars even, but Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Wait, you prefer Little Caesars to Pizza Hut? Are you fucking mad?
I hate Pizza Hut.
Wow. I mean, look, Pizza Hut is no gourmet cuisine, and it certainly runs laps around Papa John's. Domino's is probably the top tier of shitty pizza fast food, but Little Caesars is that's
it's hot and ready, man. $5 hot and ready.
It's slop on a piece of cardboard.
It is. Well, it is. I'm not saying like I would
I'm sorry.
a little.
It's two pieces of slop on two pieces of cardboard because, as we all know, pizza.
Look, we can all live in New York City with Famous Ray's original gourmet pizza around every corner.
Hyle, everyone knows Famous Ray's original gourmet pizza is a fake. The real one is Ray's original famous pizza.
They're actually rebooting Famous Ray's and Famous Egon's and Famous Peters and Famous Winston's and Famous Slimers and Famous Janines.
No one wants to reboot Famous Rick Moranis.
Oh, I like Rick. Everybody loves Rick Moranis.
I do too. I love Rick Moranis. He was just it was definitely a bad sequel idea to make him a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to give him something to do, even though there was no real need for him to be in the sequel.
Right. He's always just kind of Dana's creepy neighbor that turned into a dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I as far as the Nintendo president situation, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about it. I mean, it's too soon to tell.
Are you feeling optimistic enough to, off the top of your head, tell me what the guy's name is?
It is.
Uh-oh. He's Googling, folks.
No, I'm actually not Googling. I'm trying to do. There's a T in there. I think there's a K.
There is a consonant, yes.
Yeah, there's a T and there's a K.
Mm-hmm,
and
would you like to buy a vowel?
I would, Vanna. I would.
I don't know either. It's okay, but I have an excuse. I was neck deep in mountains and Neelix, so.
Wait, Neelix, you were watching Voyager?
Yeah, I told you. I've moved on to. We just started season 2 of Voyager.
Oh wow, I'm sorry.
No, it's not, dude. Okay, I've been hearing a lot, like nothing but negative opinions on Voyager. People say, "Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Voyager sucks. You're gonna get there. You're gonna hate it." DS9's the good one, but really. Deep Space Nine only got good in all of season 6 and in the first couple episodes of season 7 and then the last half of season 7.
No, Voyager is the Little Caesars of Star Trek.
How's that?
It's made ready for you when you walk in, and you're gonna feel sick after you consume it.
Okay, because so far it's all right, and it certainly was ready when I walked in. It was the most well-formed modern Star Trek show.
Yeah,
that I think I've seen. It was fully. Hey, and look, it has Tuvok, and I didn't realize, but I so desperately missed a Vulcan voice on the bridge. Especially with Captain Janeway, she wants to say yes to fucking everything. Every time someone on the ship has the stupidest idea that would completely jeopardize everyone's lives, she says, "Yes, that's a great idea. Let's go try it. I want to report immediately."
Oh, that's a great Kate Mulgrew.
Thank you. Yeah, Janelle and I have been mercilessly mocking her.
Well, wait till you get to the episode and mild spoilers. Because there's no way these spoilers are going to make sense in any context.
Look, I've already seen the episode where they bring back Reginald Barclay. So the most amazing thing you could have possibly spoiled, I've already seen. So
the episode where Janeway and Tom Paris de-evolve into lizard people and have sex.
No.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, they devolve and then have sex,
and then have babies.
Do they have memories of this?
Spoilers, man. I can't tell you anymore.
Oh, geez. You're pulling a River song on me now after all that? Okay.
Tatsumi Kimishima.
It only took Hyle 5 minutes to type, "What is the new president of Nintendo's name?" into Google.
Yeah. No, actually, it was the lizard sex. It rejuvenated my brain. Anyway, so yeah, Star Fox Zero has been delayed. Nintendo is now the pants are down around their ankles. They are exposed. They don't have a big holiday 2015 game, and you could say, well, Mario Maker, well, sure, I guess. I don't know.
But it's not holiday though. That's their September.
September 11th game. Yeah,
that's their big 9/11 barnstormer. Yeah.
So I'm just putting this out here, Chad, and this is the only time I'll bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great for Diddy Kong Racing to save the day again.
Watch it happen. Watch it happen, everyone.
I'm just saying, next week, Nintendo Direct, and then, and then Taj will appear and say, I've got something for you.
It's a horde of racing ostriches. Pick from Rapido or Minogue.
Did you know when he was a teenager, when he was about 14 years old, Taj took his clock, his TT, to school and got arrested.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. That's
really?
topical. That's topical. Even though Taj is Hindu and
even though TT is
a stopwatch,
sentient character and
it's a stopwatch. But I wanted to be topical.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I'm sure people listening to this several months from now, as they are wont to do, will appreciate it even then. Look, the White House tweeted about it. It's topical. It's an evergreen now.
I was thinking about that tweet, and wouldn't it have been terrible if Obama had made a typo and he said "cool cock"?
Wait, what did he say? Oh, he said "cool clock."
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been terrible. It also assumes a world in which Barack Obama writes his own tweets.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he's a Twitterer. He's a Twitter fiend.
Mm-hmm.
Tears it up on the tweet machine.
Think he tweets from his beloved BlackBerry?
It's weird that politicians still use black bears.
Yeah.
Hey, so I did have a dream though.
You might even say they're out of touch old people.
Yeah, you might. Not that Donald Trump man though. He's anyway.
Look, Trump. I don't know what's happened in the last week, but I assume it's extremely classy. I just can't comment on it at the moment. Trump 2016. He's still alive, right?
He's still alive. Yeah. Nobody died while you were gone.
I could have been making horrible, offensive, non-rape related jokes.
Donald Trump was actually raped to death by pirates.
Oh, Jesus.
You completely missed that story.
Wow. Well, what a way to go.
They were very classy pirates, though. And a ship made of solid gold.
He died like he lived.
Thank you. So anyway, I did have a dream that predicted Star Fox Zero. I can't even say the name of this game. Star Fox Zero's delay. It's a terrible name.
It's not great.
So yeah. So last night I had a dream that Rare showed off 2 new games because apparently they were just cranking out games left and right, and they debuted these new games, trailers for them at like 2 a.m. in the morning. And somehow I was watching it, and they debuted a 2D banjo game, like a 2D side-scroller with banjo characters. And
where could you possibly have gotten that idea?
And in like the one scene, like one level took place in a graveyard, and you could see like all these like dead characters, like Jolly Roger, his grave was in the background, and you could ground pound it and break open his grave, and his ghost would come out.
Okay.
Yeah, and you tweeted, "Wow, Retro Studios needs to up their game."
That was my tweet.
This looks like a real DKCTF killer. Yes.
Was I being sarcastic?
No, you were like being just like completely pro Rare, and like just you suddenly like turned on retro.
Fuck you, Nintendo. Should have been a quality game.
And then I don't know if this was actually a Rare game, but for some reason we saw a trailer for a new Star Fox game. And I
was wondering. All right, we've got a flamboyant frog's ghost. When are we going to get to Star Fox Zero?
Yeah, so in this trailer, Fox was in his R-wing, like dogfighting, and he gets shot down, and he dies, and everything goes black. And then he wakes up, and he's like in limbo, and all of these like canceled Rare games, like you can see like their titles on the doors, like it's a hallway but in pitch blackness, so you see like Saberman Stampede, you see a logo for that above a door, and Fox is just walking down this hallway, and at the very end of the hallway he comes to a door that's labeled Dinosaur Planet. And Fox walks through the door, and he's in, I don't know, like the mountain, this mountain, and there at the end of the hall is Randorn, and he says,
"What?"
Yeah, and Fox is greeted by Randor. Like, Fox has fallen, he's died, and he's gone into limbo, and he's gone into the game Dinosaur Planet. Very meta. I don't really understand how this would work. But the trailer ends with Fox coming face-to-face with Saber.
Ooh.
And I guess that dream foretold that just as Fox died in my dream and went to limbo, so would Star Fox Zero. I just wanted to bring up this dream, and then you texted me and you said that you had tears coming down your face because you saw Saber.
Wow. Yeah. That sounds almost as unnecessarily emotional a response as my Donkey Kong 64 reservation experience article from 1999.
That was my article.
Oh, what was mine? Oh, mine's just the review.
Yeah, yours was just the review. Yeah.
I could have sworn I also wrote a companion piece to your reservation experience.
Maybe you wrote like something like you wrote a feature like 5 days out. It was like 5 days before Donkey Kong 64 came out, and you had to write a feature about it being 5 days before Donkey Kong 64 came out.
Right. One day for every backtrack through every stage you'll have to do.
I think the point is we equally shamed ourselves there.
Yeah. Well, hey, we were young, dumb, and full of cum. What do you want?
That's a great T-shirt idea, by the way.
Yep. It's going to happen. We're going to start merchandising this thing.
So, anyway.
Look, podcast networks won't have us, but we're going to monetize this baby.
I just wanted to bring up that, I dream in this shit. Like, my dreams are of Electric Sheep and also the sheep from Granny's Revenge.
Hyle is a better fan than you.
All right, we got some calls to take.
I think we do.
Oh!
Hello, Kongversation. This is, I believe you refer to me as the Tomb of the Unknown Caller.
No, that's where you're from.
I called several times, like 2 weeks ago, and the more I was anticipating hearing my own voice, the more I was thinking, with that first one, I was like, I made a terrible mistake. Anyway, I'm going to make this as non-long-winded as possible because the audio samples I submitted I don't think deserved to be titled from the voice of a coked-up Tim Stamper, but I'm honored to be called that. That being said, Grant Kirkhope said he was working on a huge project for E3 2016. He's signed several non-disclosure agreements. Cannot say anything about him. Project started as a medium project. I mean, you know all this. I'm just saying it again. It started as a medium project, turned into a big one. Do you think it's DKU related? Do you think it's Nintendo related? Do you think it's Rare related? Do you think it is the third title in our tale of bears and birds that's currently an on and off possibility? Have a good day.
Well, thank you for the call, by the way. Unknown caller from the Tomb of the Unknown Caller.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's get it right. Know who you are before you have an existential crisis here on the Kongversation. We reserve that right for Memechi only. Yeah, so we got in trouble last time we theorized about what a former Rare composer might be doing.
We didn't get in trouble. The potential for trouble was there, but we said
we were frantically making clarifications.
We couldn't reveal our source, basically. So
before we even entertain any of that, we know absolutely nothing about what Grant Kirkhope is composing for 2016 beyond Ukulele and possibly Lobo Destroyo.
Because it would be even more dangerous because we actually copped to the fact that we had dinner with Grant Kirkhope, so we don't know. He didn't reveal anything. And we're not lying. We honestly don't know. So
it has not been revealed. Toasty.
We should have gone to Quiznos with him.
So I don't know. Honestly, he might have been referencing Yuka, which was a medium project and is now turning into a relatively large project.
And it should be at E3 2016 if they keep the release date of October.
Right. I mean, hell, they had a very small, behind closed doors presence at this year's E3. Of course, they're going to be at the next one. I would really like to see how indie games moving forward are represented at these trade shows, or I'd at least like to see kind of a bigger push to have representation from them.
I think the problem is if you're an indie studio and you don't have a lot of money to swing around, even renting out a booth at E3 is going to be expensive. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that there should be some concessions, and maybe I'm just saying something that already exists. But
Chad, that's socialism. You don't want that.
Yeah, that's true. We're going to be doling it out to those developers that don't have giant blaring neon signs and DJs to afford. Yeah,
that's what Bernie Sanders promotes. You can take that freak show back to Vermont,
where it belongs. Got it. That now that was a reference that literally. Even the people who edited that anti-Howard Dean campaign ad don't remember the text to that ad, but Hyle and I do.
That was 2004. It's not like it was 1950 either. I don't understand that. Wait, they drink lattes in Vermont. Oh,
yeah. That was. Hang on a sec.
Are you actually looking it up? Are you gonna play it? Are you gonna play it?
I'm gonna play it.
You're if it's even on YouTube still.
Everything's on YouTube. Even Gina and Admiral Kane were lovers. Brought to you by Quiznos. That's on YouTube.
That is on YouTube, but that's more well known than this ad.
It was Club for Growth, wasn't it?
I don't know. There's so many organizations and super PACs now, and I don't know.
Here we go.
Think of Howard Dean's plans to raise taxes on families by $1,900 a year.
What do I think? Well, I think Howard Dean should take his tax hiking, government expanding, latte drinking, sushi eating, Volvo driving, New York Times reading,
body piercing, Hollywood loving, left wing freak show back to Vermont, where it belongs.
Got it?
Club for Growth PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
2004, ladies and gentlemen. Sushi eating, New York Times reading.
They read newspapers in Vermont?
Well, clearly, the vice presidential candidate in 2008 didn't read newspapers.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's been a little tiptoe down memory lane for you.
Good Lord. All right.
Yeah.
So
the American presidential campaigns were always a fucking circus. It's not just this year.
No. It's just the media penetration gets more and more each time it happens because there's more ways to consume it than ever before.
Yep.
But anyway, to answer your question, I would like to see to answer your statement, Chad, and then to answer the unknown caller from the Tomb of the Unknown Callers question. Yeah, I would like to see concessions made towards indie developers at the very least. Like, give them you could carve out a portion of the show floor. I'm sorry, there's got to be a way to do it. Maybe give them a deep discount. I don't know how you do it, but yeah, it would be nice. Although I think Playtonic probably has enough money to rent out a small space at next year's E3, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Hyle and I will be there again. That's the current plan, anyway.
That is, unless I don't know, we get hit by a bus.
One or both of us dies.
Yes,
or is injured in that fashion. Yeah,
I would like to imagine if one of us dies, we'll hold a solemn tribute on the Kongversation and we'll carry on.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, if you're dead, I'm still going to E3.
Yeah, if you're dead, I'm still going to E3. This show's
right.
still continuing.
Fair enough.
Let me put it out here in the public will. All right, I want the show to continue even if I die, but I want something to honor my memory occasionally.
Mm-hmm. Okay, such as
I don't know, the equivalent of an audio statue to be erected in my honor.
the equivalent of an audio statue.
Yeah.
Okay, how about just a really piercing sound just below every single episode, the entire duration.
We'll have to fine tune this idea before one of us dies.
Okay,
I'm not a fan of that one.
Look, we're just pitching here. There's no bad ideas when you're pitching. Just brainstorming, all right?
All right.
My first stab is a piercing, irritating noise slightly beneath the audio of every episode. That's just my first idea.
Okay, all right. I like it. All right.
So what do you think Grant's up to? If not Yuka,
it's hard to say because the guy's in demand. I mean, he out of everybody, he's doing the most freelance work, I think, and he's a well-known entity thanks to. I mean, he made the rounds on the right podcast, the right shows.
He was on Game Grumps.
Yeah,
yep.
he's well known to people. Probably even more so than David Wise is at this point.
Yeah, he would only be marginally better known if he made a guest spot on CBS's sitcom lineup. If he did a spot on The Big Bang Theory, he may have gotten comparable market penetration to Game Grumps.
I really wish I knew more about The Big Bang Theory to make a disparaging remark against it.
Just say Bazinga and move on.
Bazinga. Yeah, I was going to be is there any yeah, Bazinga. I don't know. Is that the way they say it on the show?
Yeah, that's the way they say it.
All right.
That's how the T-shirt is pronounced.
Yeah. So anyway, I imagine that's how they say it. So yeah, it could be a big AAA title. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't see Grant doing Call of Duty, but I imagine that would be the most fun Call of Duty has ever been. There's xylophones.
Lots of marimbas, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you gun down somebody on the sidewalk already bleeding out.
Do I burn these villagers or save my son? Do.
They need the banjo-esque voices, also. Instead of the full audio voice acting, it could just be.
Yeah, that's Arlie Ermy, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what do you think, Chad?
I already said. It's either ukulele or there's literally no way for us to know.
Yeah, but I don't. If it's not ukulele, I don't think it's DKU related, and I don't think he's doing anything with Rare at the time being. I think Rare they're not going to be showing anything at E3 2016 that isn't Sea of Thieves. I could be wrong.
They might. You never know. Hey, they might be on a thing now where they've got kind of a
thing now. Yeah,
they might be on a thing. They do a sort of a smaller scale product in the same way that Rare Replay was. And which sort of fills the slots between their larger ones.
Hey, lads.
Sure, innuendo callback.
Yeah, I mean, like things like Rare Replay might be the new version of their portable titles, like something to fill the gaps.
Or hell, they could even bring portable titles to Rare Replay.
Yeah, or hell, they can make portable titles again. That would be great.
Oh yeah. The 3DS is still alive and well, and
considering Phil Spencer isn't anti doing business with Nintendo, it's entirely possible they could resurrect that division, or maybe not even bring back the division, just have people working on them. And I would love to see that. I think Nintendo fans would love to see that.
Yeah, I think so. Considering how many people want Nintendo to buy back Rare, or I think that like the blind people, the people who haven't been paying attention to the Rare news of the last decade would be over the moon with that proposal.
Operation Rarefall.
yeah, that lot. Yeah. So thanks, unknown caller.
Thank you, unknown caller, from the tomb of the unknown caller.
Dunno. That's our best answer. Next call.
Hi, it's Ron again.
Hi, Ron.
I need to register the name Radical Ron 95 on the forum, but I haven't gotten around to it yet, which hopefully happens before this podcast is. But anyway, I want to get to my question. Donkey Kong Country will be approaching its 21st birthday before long, which in America is legal age. And so, inspired by that, my question is, we've seen like Conker. We generally know him as kind of like a drunken character. What do you think, like, the personalities of Donkey, Banjo, etc., would be like also as kind of like drunk, or what would they be like when they're a little bit off kilter? Anyway, thanks. Bye. Again, please don't steal my username, people.
Oh, if you didn't snap up Radical Ron 95 before this episode airs, someone is squatting on it and will probably part with it for a tidy sum.
I'm sure it's Ron Belding, Mr. Belding's brother from Saved by the Bell, who was going to take the kids whitewater rafting, but then he met a floozy and he decided to blow them off, and so then Mr. Belding decided to take them whitewater rafting. Remember that episode of Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, I remember that one. I also remember the one where there was an oil well on top of the high school, so all the kids had fantasies about how they were going to spend the oil money.
Mm-hmm. But then
there
were
lots of great episodes of Saved by the Bell.
Then it turned out their favorite duck, Becky, died, or it was Bessie or something.
Jeez, you can't even remember the name of the beloved Bayside High duck. Come on.
Maybe that's what happened to Tori. Maybe she got coated in oil and died.
They thought it was a duck because of her feathered hair. They thought that was plumage.
I love this show, Chad. And this is why I love the show, because we have listeners who call in.
I just compared a sitcom actress's hair to plumage, and you just use that as an opportunity to say you love this show.
I love this show because our listeners call in and want to know, what would Donkey Kong be like if he was drunk?
I feel like Banjo is probably borderline drunk. He's like on the drunk side of tipsy on moonshine the entire game.
Yeah,
so,
I think Banjo could really like put him back. I think it would take a lot to get him actually drunk. Like I think
we have yet to see Banjo sober. I'm sure he's extremely articulate and all that. I
don't know. He seems to be a goody two shoes. Like I could see him only drinking milk.
He's drinking White Russians if he's drinking milk.
Okay,
yeah. Well, like he's going to start talking like Fraser Crane if he ever sobers up.
No, I think Banjo would either have a very high tolerance for alcohol or he'd be a lightweight because he never drinks at all. So, Donkey Kong, I think he's friends with Funky.
I'm not saying Banjo is an alcoholic, but that's not water that Royston is swimming around in. He hides it everywhere.
That's probably why Royston's so remarkably well preserved.
And why he was begging to get to the Spiral Mountain moat.
Yeah. No, I would imagine, though, Donkey Kong, being friends with Funky, he's not like the hardcore drinker that Conker is, but, you know, he'll knock back some margaritas, some pina coladas, some banana daiquiris.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, that might have even been a rum banana birthday cake.
Oh, wait. I just remembered at the end of Banjo-Kazooie, when they're having the barbecue, Banjo's drinking something that looks like beer. So, I mean, it's not spelled out that it's beer. It's drinking a mug of brown liquid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, if anyone asked, it's root beer, ha, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's beer. So, yeah, Banjo probably puts him back every now and then. But, yeah, I would imagine Donkey Kong gets drunk, but he's also, insert however many pounds here, gorilla, so it would take a bit to get him off his feet.
Yeah, like 6 times what it would take a mortal man to get drunk.
I imagine Donkey Kong is more of a stoner than anything because of Funky.
Because of, the influence of his neighborhood mechanic, yeah.
Well, he's also laid back and so chill all the time, you know.
See, but the laid back, the chill, yes, there could be a weed component to that, but it really does, to me, speak more of a banana daiquiri kind of attitude. It's because it's the tropical laid back. You know?
They're all beachcombers. They're living the Jimmy Buffett lifestyle, you know.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Same thing for Diddy and Dixie. Honestly, you know, I assume they're of legal age. You know, if you follow our timeline accurately. So you know,
I like the idea though that because the game turns 21 this year, Donkey Kong he was barely not a fetus. When you've played the first adventure.
Here's what I want to see, actually. When Donkey Kong Country turns 21, November 21st or whatever, I want to see a YouTube video of somebody pouring beer into their cartridge. Here you go, Donkey Kong Country. You can drink this now. And I would assume you'd have a spare cartridge. I would hope so. But I want to see somebody pouring beer into the cartridge.
You heard it, Forum. It's never been a better time to make that video happen.
Well, actually, 2 months from now would be the best time.
Oh, that's true. I just lied to you all.
You are a liar.
So there you go, Ron. That's
like Hillary Clinton and Benghazi. You lie, Chad.
That's right. I'm gonna put this conversation on a server. Okay.
You actually are, though. You're going to do that.
Yeah, it's a secret server that only several thousand people a week know about. And none of them are with the NSA. Or our enemies, for that matter.
Hey, thanks for the call, Ron Belding. It really did suck, though, when you didn't take Zach whitewater rafting.
Yeah, come on. Screech was devastated, you monster.
Screech stabbed a guy.
Hey, Chad.
Quiet, Hyle. The Master DS is talking.
How do you know it's the Master DS?
Oh, I had to. Well, I always. I'm open about this. I have to listen to them at least for a few seconds to know whether or not they're even audible. Because we have a guy now who calls the hotline every couple days and makes noises like that for about a minute and a half each time.
Oh, so now we know how Donkey Kong acts when he's drunk.
Yeah. Google thought one of them was talking about breakfast restaurants. You know,
how
really? it tries to translate any call, no matter how obviously it's not actual speech. Yeah, that one of those several ones we got for this episode was about breakfast restaurants.
Apparently. Oh, lovely! I love a good breakfast restaurant. You know, it's found one the other day called the Egg and I.
The Egg and I?
The Egg and I, yeah.
Really? Well, that's grammatically incorrect, unfortunately.
Well, that was actually a movie, I think from the 50s or 60s, starring Fred McMurray, I believe, and it spun off the adventures of I don't know, Ma and Pa something, like it was redneck comedy, but yeah, there you go.
Wow, I am so lost on that referential chain that I don't know if you're being sincere or
no,
just...
I'm being completely sincere. I just can't remember. I was going to say Ma and Pa's Soup Swill, but that's a Grab by the Coolies reference.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if I didn't know if the egg and I was some kind of Arrested Development joke you were making.
No. There's more to me than Arrested Development references, Chad. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. There's also a lack of Rick and Morty watching.
Monpaw Kettle. There you go. I looked it up.
All right, let's give Master DS another spin.
Let's give him a spin.
Hey, Chad, Hyle. So this is the Master DS here, and I'm calling because I have a theory that could make a not DKU game DKU, and this is basically along the same lines as your very true DK rappers theory. Anyway,
He's endorsed it.
The basic concept is this: do you know how in Grab by the Ghoulies there is a ripping guitar song that is played in the ballroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna do a leap of logic here. I'm gonna say that ballroom song is live, and you can see that the mummy is scratching it, but I don't think that it actually stops the track. It sort of scratches over the track, but not actually, he's scratching a separate channel from the guitar thing. So I think that is a live performance, and thus it makes the banjo guitarist, as I will call him, DKU, a DKU character. Off screen, but still a DKU character. Why does this matter? Well, in Cameo, the banjo theme is through a ripping guitar interpretation is played over a radio or something. I don't know. I don't actually remember where it's played. It's like a radio or a clock or some sort of boom box. I believe that's what they're called. In the 90s they had that, or the 80s or something. Anyway, boom box. It's like an iPad, except it's shaped like a speaker. Anyway, so it's playing out of the speaker thing, and I think it's a live performance by the banjo guitarist, who is a unseen character, but a character nonetheless. And I would say that this makes Cameo DKU. What do you think of this theory? Cheers. I love you. Goodbye.
Oh, well, I love you too, Master DS.
Thanks, Master DS. All right, so I've got an answer, but you want to take a crack at this, Hyle? I know that you've demonstrated at least a public reluctance to go along with the DK rappers are DK64 and thus ukulele character theory.
No, it's not a reluctance. I wholeheartedly endorse your sentiment, Chad. I just want to see how they're portraying ukulele before we make any judgment calls.
Okay, so you're the not DKU until proven DKU, and I'm sort of coming at it from the corollary.
Yeah, exactly. I think your theory is sound. I don't know about Master DS's theory, but I think your theory makes complete sense because in the context of Donkey Kong 64 and the later supplementary materials such as Donkey Konga and Donkey Kong Country 2 Game Boy Advance, which established that DK rap is a real thing in this world.
Right.
And ergo, the music video that we see that opens DK 64 more than likely happened. A music video implies a live presence of the musicians in question.
Well, not necessarily, but it implies... Well, there is explicit instruction to the Kongs, well, namely Cranky Kong. They tell him to take it to the fridge, and as we've said before in this show, he complies. That song is taken all the way to the fridge.
Yeah, look. Yeah, it's like
so he's responding to instruction, which means that that there is a presence. There is a actual character presence of those rappers.
I equate it with the Run DMC / Aerosmith video for Walk This Way, where Run DMC and Aerosmith have a communication going on in the music video, and they break down the barrier between rock and rap.
Yeah, it was.
They literally break down a wall in the music video. It's very profound.
Yeah, it's a regrettable Cold War allegory, but we can't take it back as a society. So I think that though is where the Master DS is. I mean, I do appreciate the theory certainly, and I love that we can have these conversations. But I think that's where yours starts to break down that assumption that And I love that you did your homework on whether the mummy was scratching the song or not. And if you can actually turn the song, not the scratching part, off by destroying the speaker that's playing it in the ballroom. But where it breaks down is the idea of banjo guitarist being a character. For me, anyway.
Yeah, considering that the only musical performances we see in the banjo series are banjo, kazooie, tootie, and mumbo performing at the beginning of Banjo-Kazooie. And you later see those instruments in Candy's music shop in Donkey Kong 64, a little bit worn, implying that somebody from that group sold Candy those instruments back. I don't think there is a banjo guitarist.
Well, right, and you also need to, well, even if it's not Banjo himself, who is the only banjo,
and he plays a banjo,
right? But I think what he's postulating is that Grant Kirkhope would be the banjo guitarist, and his guitar work was then heard in Cameo. But he's also inferring that this is both. He's suggesting that this is a live performance, even over the Cameo radio, which, again, there's nothing that really suggests that.
No, unless it's Sirius XM, because they do carry live performances occasionally.
Oh, do they? Okay,
but it's not Sirius XM.
It could be. We're gonna have to reach out to Chris Alcock to get to the bottom of whether or not they're in Sirius satellite radio in the world of Cameo. He'll probably just blame the whole thing on Bear. Banjo's father. Banjo's canonical father. I
appreciate the theory, but again, as much as we might want Cameo to be DKU, I think the DKU needs a certain level of integrity to it, and that's grasping at some serious straws, more so than the ukulele thing. Now, I'm still holding out hope there's going to be more things in ukulele to make it DKU, but I am content in the belief that the DK rappers are actual characters.
Well, here's one thing that I don't like about this whole debate is phrases like grasping at straws or unreasonable, these sort of vague statements. Like, let's break this shit down and pinpoint exactly where something would or would not be DKU. In this case, I think it's the distinction between a vocal performance and an audio performance of any type. Because if you think about it, a butterfly can flap its wings in peaking, and a slight little tidbit of that waveform shows up on DK Island. You know, so that butterfly is not a DKU character, even if it non-vocally contributed somehow to the backing track. You know,
but
if we're gonna go like all crazy chaos theory on this thing, you know, let's
but there's the difference between a butterfly flapping its wings in peaking and rappers doing a music video with the Kongs, and just because we don't see them, we hear them, and they're giving the Kongs instructions. They're taking to the fridge and whatnot.
Right. And we have the precedent for audio, like vocal only characters by way of that same game's Crosshairs. Get out. So
yeah, and I mean that still applies. Look, we always use sitcom analogies to describe the Donkey Kong universe. And Cheers and Frasier come up quite a bit because there was a serious level of world building between those two shows.
Yeah. So Crosshairs is Niles.
No. Crosshairs would be Vera, Norm's wife, who you never see.
I was just joking. Okay.
You never see, but you hear her voice. And then, of course, there's Maris, Niles' wife, who actually I don't think you ever even hear. She's just implied to be there. You occasionally see her shadow and maybe an arm or something. But I still consider Maris to be a DKU character.
I question whether Maris actually exists. I think Frasier is just the descent into psychosis of Niles Crane.
But it would be all those characters because they all think she exists and they all have recounted experiences with her. So
that's Niles just doing very clever sitcom shenanigans where he dresses in drag.
Well, I'm hoping all these sitcom revivals are happening.
At his wedding, he had a mirror.
All these sitcom revivals are happening. I'm hoping we'll see Frasier season 12, and maybe your theory will come to light.
11 seasons? Did it seriously last for 11 seasons?
Yeah, both Cheers and Frasier ran for 11 seasons each.
Yeah, wow.
22 years of the Cheers universe.
22 years of playing the same character and occasionally a psychopathic killer.
Frasier actually Kelsey Grammer only played the character for 20 years because he joined in season 3. His character didn't debut until the season 3 premiere of Cheers.
Oh, so he's the sexy Borg lady of Cheers.
But Seven of Nine didn't join until season 4 of Voyager. Why do I know this stuff?
I don't know. I just see her on the Netflix key art, and I wonder when the fuck we're gonna get to her, and when we're gonna get rid of Ensign Kim. Does he leave? Does Harry Kim ever leave?
No, it's Kes who leaves.
Oh, Kes leaves. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't have much of an opinion of Kes really. She hasn't made anything her own yet. She's just kind of there as,
and that's why they get rid of her.
Really?
Yeah.
Janelle said Janelle read an article while we were on vacation. She happened
wow, you guys know how to lit it up.
Yeah, she read an article about the actress who played Kes. Apparently this last week she lives in Tennessee, I think it was, somewhere like Tennessee, and exposed herself to children in the middle of a drunken tirade, and then she threatened to have the police shot when they came to apprehend her.
Well,
so,
to be fair,
she landed on her feet.
Her character ages very fast. She only lives for what, like 7 years? So
I think 9 years.
9 years. So
yeah.
To be fair, she could look like an adult, but she could really be 3 years old at heart. It's not a crime.
Yeah. I also, by the way, their species makes no biological sense. Because...
Okay, can we not? Now that you've started Voyager, I'm sure you're going to be going on lots of Voyager-related tangents throughout the rest of the season. Can we just save a little bit of it for another episode? We still haven't got to the pirate stuff.
I know. I'm eating into your call time, Mamechi, or Master DS. Sorry. That was a Freudian slip because we have another caller.
Hey everyone, me again, Mamechi.
What?
It's him again, Mamechi.
I have a question related to very recent
Is he underwater?
Nintendo, or rather the Pokemon Company.
Pokemon Company. I heard that.
So, I think you guys have seen the Pokemon Go thing, right? The new iOS game and stuff. And none of you guys did the DKU, but if you notice in the game, it's like Pokemon in the real world now in that game. So, my question is this. What if there happened to be a DKU game of any kind that, for whatever reason, is augmented reality? So, like what if in the game,
augmented reality.
Was,
augmented reality.
Running around your house or something, because augmented reality, so. Like, what if your own house became a stage for Dr. Country or something? I don't know. How would you define DKU? Like, would it be like a player's house or what? Something? It brings up a lot of questions. So, if the augmented reality game comes out, like, can DKU take place in the real world, or how would you guys define this as canon? Like, I'm not just saying like.
How would we define it as canon?
It's augmented reality. Okay.
You could just hang up. You can hang up.
And don't worry, I'll be there for you.
Yeah, I'll be there for me.
I think for Donkey Konga too.
Thank you. Right.
Thank you, Mamechi.
I thought he was just singing the Friends theme song.
Is the one. This podcast will be titled "The One Where We Can't Tell What the Fuck Mamechi is Saying."
Did he take up cave diving in Casa Bonita? Is he like under the soapy water right now? Because I couldn't make most of that out. When he was talking about the Pokemon.
Hey guys.
Luckily,
welcome to the most exciting restaurant on earth. I'm Mamechi. I'll be your cave diver.
Luckily, when he started talking about the Pokemon Company, I knew where this was going.
Well, Hyle, before you jump in too much, you know how I said I pre-screen these calls for audibility? We had one more call right after.
What?
Hello, DK Vine. Joker here. And I believe that what dear Mamechi had to say before I carted him off was that he was interested in knowing whether if you had a little augmented reality Donkey Kong running around your house, or let's say, or it's a house was turned into a DKC level, how would you, yes you with your little Donkey Kong universe, how would you reconcile that into canon, eh? I'll be waiting for your response.
Well, now
So
we know. Now we know why Momechi always sounds so depressed. It's because he's an orderly at Arkham Asylum.
He's just the Joker's alternate persona. You know how you had that moment during Ron's call where you just said you love this show? This is one of those moments for me. I'm whatever the fuck this was.
Okay, how are they working? Okay, I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm just gonna go with the premise that this is the Joker and he's friends with Momechi.
Let's not think about it too much.
At the very least, Mark Hamill lives in Momechi's pool house.
I'm just glad that the Joker is here to help clarify what Momechi was asking.
All right, so this is great because I've actually thought about this. For those who don't know, there's a new Pokemon game coming out for mobile devices. And people are like, well, this is Nintendo's first foray into mobile games. Well, it's the Pokemon Company. It barely counts as Nintendo anymore.
Yeah, and also the Pokemon Company already came out with a Pokédex for mobile devices.
True.
So,
but anyway,
this looks fun to me.
I know I'm a cynical asshole towards anything that isn't DKU related, but yeah, I looked at this and I know it's a mobile game, and as a Nintendo fan, I'm supposed to be against that for some reason, but I think this looks like a lot of fun. Now, granted, it's not going to be as cool as it's presented on the trailer, the commercial, whatever.
Right.
But, I'm actually going to get this.
If to me, it's the perfect marriage of like a what's the phrase? The gamatization. It's the gamatization of geocaching. And Pokemon is an absolutely pitch perfect application for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's in the DNA of the series itself. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I could even see Nintendo doing that. That crazy Mewtwo thing in Times Square that you see and you realize you roll your eyes. Yeah, it's a bunch of mock-ups. It's nowhere near that, but with this kind of concept, I've seen the lines that extend outside of the Nintendo World Center when they do, is it Nintendo World Center? Nintendo World Store, whatever.
Nintendo World Store, yeah.
Yeah, it used to be a Pokemon Center. The lines that extend, it's crazy, like how many people will come out of the woodwork in a big city. If they actually did this thing and announced it in advance, something like, capture Mewtwo at Times Square, it would be a thing. People would do it, and I'm sure Nintendo would be there with cameras rolling, and they'd be able to cut together a version of the same commercial. I mean, I think it's a great idea. Good for them.
Yeah, I'm not cynical at all about this. I think it's smart and it looks fun. And if it gets gamers outside, all the better.
So would you like to have Donkey Kong run around your living room or whatever?
I'd be all for it. And here's how I would explain it, because I've thought about this. Okay, well, we all know that you, as in you, whoever you are, you're a Donkey Kong Universe character. First appeared in It's Mr. Pants, and based off your...
first DKU appearance was It's Mr. Pants, right?
Well, that's all that really matters.
Well, yeah, but the DKU doesn't follow you around or
No, but as far as I'm concerned, my first video game appearance was It's Mr. Pants. Nothing else before that matters. So you, based off your performance on that show, you became kind of a Ken Jennings-esque celebrity in the Rare Archipelago.
You're a dropping block savant.
And yeah, so eventually you're invited to all of these Mario Kart races and Sonic and Sega All-Stars with Banjo-Kazooie races.
I can't wait until they have IBM's Watson play It's Mr. Pants for sweeps.
Okay, yes. And then,
nothing to add to that.
Took me a second. And I'm like, I have nothing clever to add to that.
Yes,
to that reference.
Moving on.
Yeah, well, you can only yes and so much in 2.5 hours. So anyway, there's a reason Whose Line Is It Anyway? It was 22 minutes, Chad. And
It was highly edited down to remove all of Wayne Brady's profanities.
Ryan Stiles was doing his conquer routine with the they thought was the conquer puppet, so anyway, and you even become a character in a fighter, a combatant in Smash Brothers. So wearing a K. Rool costume for some reason, and so anyway, basically you befriend Donkey Kong and friends. So who's to say they wouldn't fly to your house or fly to your neighborhood and hang out with you?
So you think they would actually? So what happens if it's a sort of thing where you're basically constructing levels out of your furniture? Like, you've got platforms because the top of your couch or the top of your table, there are a number of ways that they could do augmented reality, and I don't think it would just be a sort of like a Hey You Pikachu scenario where there's a 7-foot tall gorilla hanging out in your house. I feel like they would. What would you say if they're miniaturized, or if there's something else weird that depicts them differently from how you would expect?
I don't know. Then a wizard shrank them. I mean, we would find. I would have to play the game first, because the art of my fanon. It's not that I pull things out of my ass. It's that I absorb the game and the universe, and I make educated guesses.
All right. Well, Hyle, you are clearly ill-equipped to answer a signature Mamechi call, because Mamechi and the Joker both that's a sitcom spinoff I would watch. Mamechi and the Joker are giving you a very specific scenario with a few vagaries and telling you that you need to give them an answer. You're refusing to do so.
I have given them the best answer I could give them at this point in time, and I think it's a damn good one. At least we have a place to start. And then from there, we'll fill in the finer details when we know more from this hypothetical game that we'll probably never get.
Are there any applications of ARG that you would like to see applied to the DKU? Pokemon has the obvious one.
Yeah.
That's because the character in Pokemon was always like a little avatar for you. Pokemon had a you, and his name was Red or Blue. His name was really Red, though, because...
Or whatever you named him.
Yeah, but Red's the one that canonically happened, right?
It was just so unfair to the people who got the blue version. Like, what? Why don't they leave that vague? Like,
no,
why?
Look, they're actually. I want to say that either that I think it was Joe, our staffer Joe Mudd and Jeff Onan. They were talking in our staff chat about Pokemon a couple months ago. I think it was them, and apparently, in one of the Pokemon installments, there's a Pokemon introduced that can go to alternate universes, and it's sort of revealed, toasty, that all the different playthroughs of Pokemon are canonical, and that's how you're able to, like, the transmission link where you can trade Pokemon over the Game Boy cable is actually a cross-dimensional portal, and
dude, that was my fan wank back when back playing Red and Blue in the day. That was my fan wank. Yeah.
Well, that's been canonized.
See, I know everything. Trust me when I give you my bullshit for the ARG games. First
it was Hooter the Donkey Kong Owl, and now this.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for our Feudal Days of Donkey Kong Country episode, because we got some good shit to talk about.
Did you really have to name the episode that? The Feudal Days of Donkey Kong Country?
You're on vacation, and I was feeling pretty solemn because of the anniversary of 9/11, so...
Yeah, you really wanted to use that Drew Carey Show production slate, didn't you? Speaking of Ryan Stiles, shall we take the next call?
I think
we got two more, baby.
Past. Oh, God.
Hey guys, long time no talk. It's Seth from Chicago.
Seth!
It's been a long time since I've called, but I really desperately need to know from you guys. What do you think about the DK and Diddy secret mushroom, whatever the fuck you call it,
stamp
in Super Mario Maker?
Oh.
What do you think about Diddy using DKC sound effects and DK using the regular DK arcade sound effects, and DK Jr. being a little secret amiibo in there? What other DKC characters would you like to see in Super Mario Maker, provided that we get DLC. Talk a little bit about that. Okay. I'm going to hang up now.
Dance, monkey.
Bye.
Isn't he the Mario absolutist who wanted to debate us?
Oh yeah, I think and then I actually called him drunkenly one night and tried to invite him on the show, and he never responded. But hey, Seth, you're back in the fold. Yeah, I guess we can debate you if you want. I don't know if that still stands, but yeah, Hyle, talk about that, would you, please?
Well, I don't have Super Mario Maker. You know why? You want to know why I didn't get it yet?
Well, because you already established, because it doesn't exist to you, right?
Because I'm dropping over $200 on Skylanders in a couple days.
What is wrong with you?
I've lost control of my life.
Yeah, clearly. Oh my God! So this is break down this $200 purchase for me, because that sounds like a lot, even for a Skylanders starter kit.
Oh, well, I'm getting the Wii U starter kit with regular Donkey Kong in it. That's like $79.99. Then I'm getting the Dark edition of that with Dark Donkey Kong for $99.99.
So you're getting 2 Wii U starter kits.
It's the only way to get Dark Donkey Kong, baby. Or regular Donkey Kong, for that matter.
Wait, you can't get regular Donkey Kong unless you get the full starter? You can't just buy like a copy of the amiibo?
No, I'm pretty sure it's only available in the full starter, yeah.
Well, okay. All right.
And then I'm also getting the Wii starter with Bowser.
You mean the 3DS one?
No, they're doing the Wii and the 3DS starter kits as well.
Oh,
okay. And that has Bowser in it.
Oh, I'm confused. So, okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're just spending a ridiculous amount of money on Skylanders toys.
Because Donkey Kong. And Diddy. And Diddy's in there, but not as a toy.
All right. Well, what Diddy and Donkey Kong are not in is Super Mario Maker. That's why That's why I thought you were going to be saying you had no interest in getting this game.
Well, let's be honest. We all know me. I try to play cool, but yeah, that's the real reason. No, it's because I'm trying to say
you hate Mario. You have an abject hatred of Mario.
I'm trying. Yes, I despise Mario and all Italians, really.
Mamma mia, Hyle. That's a spicy meatball for our audience to swallow.
As I'm marrying a girl named Michelle Nicoli.
Well, yeah, you're erasing her Italian heritage with your surname, Russell. One less Nicoli in the world, folks.
We actually don't know what we're doing about the whole surname thing yet. I mean, I'm leaving it up to her.
Don't be all new agey about it. Okay.
No, we both might take the last name Kong if I can convince her. If I can convince her.
Hyle, make that happen. Make that that is your new. Actually, I'm going to have to work that into my best man speech now.
Oh,
Hyle suggested to me that your surname be Kong. I have nothing to add here. I just wanted to mention that in front of Michelle's family.
So anyway, no, I've dropped so much money on video games this year unnecessarily, like the ukulele Kickstarter and Skylanders. It's just been like a shakedown, a complete and utter shakedown. So, and I'm saving for a wedding too, and a honeymoon and all that shit. So
you're gonna get married in nature. Look, my wedding costs $50. You're gonna lowball me on that.
I'm cheap, all right? What can I say?
No. Seriously though, I mean, you're not gonna go all lavish, are you? You guys are gonna do something. I mean, you're both very, very earthy people.
Yeah. It's gonna be simple, but still, things add up. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Well, reception. That's where they get you.
Well, and park entrance fees, too. Anyway, so...
Oh, you're going to do it in an international park?
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Do you have to like, really pay for that? Because we did ours in Central Park. It's a city park, or perhaps a state park. I don't know. But it was only $50 for our fee.
I mean, it's just getting everybody in the park, because there's park entrance fees. And
gotcha.
You can walk into Central Park and sleep under benches there. So
Yeah. In Central Park, the only entrance fee is it's a tall boy of natural light in a brown paper bag.
Really? Natty Light? They drink that in Manhattan?
Oh. Well, the people that would be drinking it in Central Park in a tall paper bag do.
Okay. All right. So anyway, about Mario Maker, I don't know how you view the costumes, as they're called, but we view them just as that, costumes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not even something you have to interpret. They're literally called costumes. That's what the name of the item is.
Yeah, it's not like animal buddy transformations where they become the animal buddy. It's just Mario playing Mario and blackface, really. Blackface for all the Nintendo franchises.
Whoa. Oh, man.
What?
Whoa. I don't know. I just, I got in trouble with shuck and jive. I thought maybe, just maybe, you might regret dropping blackface into the middle of a Super Mario Maker conversation.
Metaphorical blackface for, like, I don't know. Look, I'm a Hyrulean. Ooh.
Hylian, Hyle. They're called Hylians.
No, I'm Hylian.
So, but that's the DKU connotation. What do you think about the fact that they, for Diddy, they included Donkey Kong Country sound effects?
Actually, I haven't seen the videos of Diddy yet. I guess they're out there now. I can look. There's that embargo. People couldn't show off some of the costume. The guy made the DKC stage, but couldn't show off the Diddy costume. Nor the DK Jr.
I mean, it's been out since that day that will live in infamy. The day that Super Mario Maker was released.
Again, I was too busy commemorating that event by listening to Toby Keith, and or have you forgotten, Chad?
Oh no. Where were you when Mario put on a Diddy costume? Did you think it was Diddy, or did you realize it's just an Italian?
But of course, Mario's colors, courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
Mario's hand his fist up in the air and says, "These colors don't run." Eagles and flags and statues. So. Yeah. Anyway, they basically play the little song or the little chime that you get when you get a 1-up balloon in the first Donkey Kong Country. That's Diddy's little sound effect. I think it's pretty cool that people can, obviously you're encumbered by Mario's specific platformer mechanics, so you can't exactly reproduce a Donkey Kong Country game, for example. But it's neat that you can have what appears to be these characters running around in stages that you've made. I mean,
until you get hit, and then they're gone.
What?
Don't they go away when you get hit?
Oh, yeah. It is like any power-up that way. But that's because it's a costume.
And that's because it's Mario. Man.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling, Seth.
Yeah. Oh, what do you think about DK Jr. being in it? I don't care, because they're just arcade sprites, and it doesn't mean anything. They're costumes.
Oh, wait, is he? I didn't hear that part.
Yeah,
DK Jr.?
DK Jr. is one of the costumes you can get, yeah.
What? Why? Which amiibo activates that?
It's just, I think, something you can unlock in the game itself.
Really? I haven't seen that at all.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well...
That was actually leaked before the game came out, but yeah.
Huh. All right. I have no opinion. It's good, I guess, for fans of DK Jr.
I'm surprised, though, that the Donkey Kong costume is modeled after the Country character and not the original arcade Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah, not Cranky. Yeah. I like it. It's good for them. They. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no opinion on this. It is what it is.
Yeah, but thank you, Seth, and call again, please.
And please debate us someday.
Someday.
Hi guys, it's Say here.
Yay!
I was having a conversation with Jim this morning, and not really an argument, but more of a disagreement. I was trying to explain to him what was so great about Rare Replay. Well, that's how it started, and how it's more than just another collection of ports. And he quite surprised me by, he basically ended up saying that he thinks gaming is a child's hobby, and that whilst he occasionally indulges pangs of nostalgia, he thinks anyone who still actively games is trying to chase their childhood and can't move on to more mature interests. So I was just wondering, do you think we are all grown children who can't move on, or do you think gaming has reached a point where it's sort of just as viable as any other art forms, such as literature, film, theatre. I don't know. It kind of got me thinking. Really, am I enjoying these nostalgic experiences because I loved them so much as a child, or do I still enjoy them on sort of legitimate level today? All right. Oh, pirates. Bye.
Thank you.
Nice segue, Say.
Yeah, I'm glad he got that in there. It really validates this episode title.
Yeah.
So, well, that's a really depressing statement from Jim, a longtime DK Vine forum member. Jim, associate of Say, and also our own Matt Corna and Joe
and Nietzsche, apparently. No, I think it's what?
I don't know. I'm just laughing at the whole absurdity.
You just
of this
got the
statement.
giggles. You're just feeling silly. No, I feel like the continuum between, or the division between childhood and adulthood really is more of a gradient, and that biblical idea of when I became a man, I put away childish things is really as archaic as Old Testament notions get.
No, it's why I threw away the Bible in that classic string of Facebook posts I made in 2013.
It actually wasn't it? Yeah,
because I was making a joke. I read that passage and I flung the Bible into the trash, and people lost their shit because I trashed the Bible. And I was like, the joke was more that I am a man child, and that offended me.
Yeah, that's people. Yeah, Hyle, but you threw away a Bible.
Oh, okay.
You
anyway,
desecrated the Word of God.
It was a motel Bible. Come on. It was like the Little Caesars of Bibles. It was hot and ready, but ultimately not very.
Ultimately, it's slop printed on cardboard.
This episode brought to you by Little Caesars.
By the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
And Gidgeon's Bible, yes.
Yeah.
No, I mentioned on the air before that we live in a time where there really is no dividing line between childhood and adulthood. You essentially don't stop. You don't have to abandon what you like as a kid to an extent. I mean, if you're still like really into Dora the Explorer when you're 31, then maybe that's not socially acceptable. Maybe it will be.
But the difference there is that Dora the Explorer, right? Isn't that how they do it?
No, it's not.
They don't even rhyme it. So
No.
Okay, Dora the Explorer. I'm turning into a Kennedy. Dora the Explorer. Put an embargo on Cuba. I think that is entertainment targeted at children, but games that are targeted at adults with either mature themes or with that are just general entertainment for all ages, I think it's perfectly valid to enjoy into adulthood.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think it's a fallacy. I think it's an archaic notion. No offense to Jim, but I think we've long since evolved out of that mindset. Especially our generation, maybe even Generation X before us.
Well, if you want to talk actual evolution, I think that the breeding patterns of people who game into adulthood might actually breed that out of the population.
No, there's a lot
time.
of that's a stereotype, Chad. There's a lot of gamers who have children. On the DK Vine forum, I think Say has a kid.
I think so. I know. I'm making a stereotype. Yeah. The phrase or the term was dropped. More mature pursuits, but I don't even know what those are. Doing taxes, going to sporting events. I mean, every entertainment indulgence is really something that a child would enjoy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not all Tuvok here. You know, we're not just going to enjoy logic for its own sake.
I mean, yeah. What is sports but just like watching a Let's Play?
Yeah. I would say. Counter.
Say.
What you will. Counter Jim's argument by having him define more mature pursuits. What are those things that are more worthwhile doing as an adult than gaming?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think it's operating off of a faulty premise.
And look, I think we gravitated away from it for a few years under that faulty notion.
Well, it was really trying to do television that got us away from it.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, we kind of turned up our nose a little bit. Oh, DK, I know that's embarrassing that we did that, you know? And
and that wasn't really a rejection of gaming as a thing as much as a rejection of like the work we did as kids that we were sort of embarrassed by, sort of saw as like a waste of time.
All the same though, it was kind of embarrassing to say that we kind of met doing a Donkey Kong website. You know, we did feel that way at one time. We embrace it now.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, that was your opening line for my Best Man Toast, and it got a big laugh. It was, what was it? I first met Chad in 1999 on a Banjo-Kazooie message board. That got a huge laugh.
For the people who knew what Banjo-Kazooie was.
Well, even for the people who thought it was gobbledygook, they probably thought it was something nerdy and hilarious because look at the nerds.
Bazinga!
Bazinga! Right. Played by the role of Sheldon will be played by Harvey Firestein.
Bazinga! I've got to call my mother.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So I mean, I understand Jim's angst, but I think he needs to or should just let it go and stop trying to let society dictate what is and what is not childish. I did that, and I'm a lot happier as a result.
So, on that note, let's talk about pirates!
Arr! Arr! I'm gonna call my mother and talk about pirates.
Yarr! I'm gonna rape ya, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, jeez. Well, actually, I bet that would be a very tender lovemaking session.
Or the laziest name for The Fly, a XXX parody. I'm gonna rape you, Jeff Goldblum. Okay. So, Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
is a game that we know next to nothing about.
90 minutes into this goddamn episode.
Newspapers. Let's do it.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Colbert.
We can't. Let's move on. No time.
All right. I have some thoughts on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, but we'll save that for next week.
All right, next week we'll do an all late night comedy / Star Trek Voyager episode. How about that?
In other words, it'll be a typical episode of the Kongversation.
We'll take a couple calls, ignore them, and talk about our opinions on Neelix. Yeah, it'll be a great time.
All right, you can talk about Neelix. I'll talk about Colbert, and hopefully the conversations will sync up. All right, so I think in our first Talk Like a Pirate Day episode in season 1, we discussed how pirates were constant presence in the Donkey Kong universe.
Yarr! I think every time one of us says pirate, the other one has to go, Yarr!
That's for the love of God, no, let's not do that.
I'm going to do it. Look, we're doing a Talk Like a Pirate Day, and we're not talking like pirates. I feel like we at least owe that to the listener.
This isn't like Pee-wee's Playhouse. The pirate isn't the secret word.
Honestly, this is just to aid me in syncing up our two audio streams later. I'll look for you to say pirate and sync it up with an Arr!
Good Lord. So, okay, then I'll just try to avoid ever saying that word. We discussed in season 1 how seafaring gentlemen...
Rape enthusiasts.
No! I refuse to entertain the notion that Captain Black Eye is a rapist.
Oh, damn. I thought you said pirate in there. I had a Yarr chambered up. I was just like, oh, I gotta get it out.
Anyway, and you know, Donkey Kong Country 2, the Kremlings became seafaring gentlemen.
Yes.
Grabbed by the Ghoulies, of course, had zombie seafaring gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Banjo-Tooie had a whole lagoon town that was seafaring gentleman themed, right. with a gay seafaring gentleman bar.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Well, there was a Seafaring Gentleman in said bar itself that came from a previous Seafaring Gentleman themed earlier version of the title. Basically, you're listing off you're ticking off all the boxes of evidence that Greg Mayles is obsessed with pirates.
Well, we didn't know. We didn't put it together at the time that it was Greg Mayles who was obsessed with pirates. That
Yarr!
God damn it. That came from our discussion with him at E3.
Uh-huh.
And
and it was sort of an eye opener for us because obviously the data was all there. We just hadn't connected the dots. But of course, their next game should be a huge pirate adventure. The fact that it's multiplayer in some way, we're not quite sure, is incredible. But they it's been sort of radio silence as they've been letting the news cycles focus on Rare Replay. But now I think they're starting to ease back into the piracy, which is really exciting.
Rape and plunder.
Rape and pillaging. Yep.
Yeah. Well, the thing I loved about the whole... Can I please just say the P word?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. What I loved about the greatness of the pirates in the Donkey Kong universe...
Oh, I thought you meant penis.
Oh, no.
Yarr! Jesus. Go ahead. I'm done. I promise.
Okay. All right.
I promise I'm done.
I might even lose my temper in another 90 minutes. It's the whole Donkey Kong universe, the Rare archipelago. It has a lot of bizarre notions. Mm-hmm. It's just
you don't say. It's like levitating cauliflower.
yeah, but it's this relatively undiscovered or untouched by man island chain with talking animals and talking things, inanimate objects, toilets and whatnot. And the only humans that ever seem to find it are pedophiles or underwear enthusiasts or pirates. And I love this idea that there's still old-timey 16th or 17th century pirates roaming the high seas in this island chain. Mm-hmm. Completely archaic and backwards, and yet they exist proudly. And they can be humans, they can be crocodiles, they can be human zombies, but they exist. And
well, so are you already theorizing that Sea of Thieves takes place in the present day?
Let's save that discussion for near the end.
Okay.
Because that's going to be a fun debate.
Is this going to be your moment-based cliffhanger that's going to drive people into the next episode?
No, it's just going to be a silly slap fight between the two of us. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
So obviously, I've been an enthusiast of pirates since 1995. Donkey Kong Country 2 really made me appreciate the aesthetic. I think you were on board a little bit earlier with the Monkey Island games, right?
Well, yeah, Monkey Island and Goonies, and there are certain ways that a child of the late 80s, early 90s gets into pirates, and those were all my ways. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was Donkey Kong Country. I was a late bloomer, but it was Donkey Kong Country 2 for me. And but I was on board, with them from that moment on, and I loved seeing them resurface throughout Rare's games. And
and I'm sorry, the Princess Bride of fucking course,
I was never into the Princess Bride. I'm sorry.
Really? Oh, it has everything. It's got romance and adventure and Fred Savage.
I was gonna say Fred Savage. Yeah,
it's the perfect movie.
Yeah, never been a fan of the Savage Brothers.
Oh yeah, Ben. I forgot about the other one.
And of course their older brother Randy. Yeah. He really hid the curly hair well under that bandana and do-rag. Yeah. The Slim Jims really straightened it out. It made him go prematurely bald, but anyway.
He gave advice to Ben, said, snap into a reboot. And lo and behold, the Disney Channel came a-calling.
Is that really a reboot, though? It's more of a continuation.
It is, really. You're right, because it deals with Cory and Topanga's child now.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit. No one cares. Let's keep going.
Surprisingly, a lot of people give a shit about that show. I think I was too old for it.
Yeah, I missed the hype on that one it was pretty much the same as my relationship with the Power Rangers. I was like a year and a half too old for Boy Meets World.
Well, like for like TGIF for us was always like Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, Step by Step.
Yeah,
the Laura
Day
Mar
by
television
Day.
shows. Yeah, so like the whole Boy Meets World, Sabrina the Teenage Witch era. That's what I have to say about that.
They need to take their latte drinking, sushi eating, Boy Meets World watching habits back to Vermont.
I was going to say back to Salem because of the Teenage Witch aspect of it. So anyway, all this being said, I think Sea of Thieves, once we got over the maybe slight pang of disappointment that it wasn't a new Banjo game as we had hyped ourselves up in the line for the Microsoft press conference. Once we saw the Sea of Thieves trailer, I realized it's fucking pirates. It's fucking pirates. I was on board because this is actually the game, and I think some of the DK Vine staff, Cameron in particular, has mentioned this is kind of the game that it's a no-brainer. It's a game that it's kind of shocking Rare hasn't made to this point, and it's a game that explores piracy, rare piracy, which is like it's always been a major component, but more or less on the peripheral since DKC2.
Right.
So
we don't yet know though how much of or if a narrative element even exists. You know, we really don't know.
We don't know a lot. We don't know much of anything about the game. We know Phil Spencer came out and said it's not what you consider an MMO.
Yeah, so I guess it's like the Destiny allegory that we were trying to draw isn't as on the nose as you know it could be, but
that wasn't our Destiny, Chad.
No, but yeah, like I'm still struggling to figure out what the game will be, but that's sort of exciting to me.
Well, we know you can play with your friends. So we know there's going to be cooperative elements.
Yeah, there will be like at least limited multiplayer, just not the massive multiplayer that the first M would suggest.
Which I'm really excited about making. I mean, we know you can make a pirate crew with your friends, and so I'm really excited about doing a DK Vine pirate crew.
Yeah, and but although if it wouldn't be able to involve the whole forum, if
no, just
depending really, yeah. Okay, so you're being exclusionary on the air. That's
absolutely
good pod.
Inner circle, baby.
Yeah.
No, I'm hoping we can design our own Jolly Roger, our own mast, because I really want it to be Hellmast.
The Hellmast?
The Hellmast, yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Do it. Get it down.
Get it down. Jot it down. Yeah, so there was a video that they released. They're apparently gearing back up into... And by the way, this was a bad week for me to be in the middle of the fucking woods because it was like Rare's Banjo week. And there are new videos on Nuts and Bolts and Banjo-Tooie. The Banjo-Tooie one has new footage of fucking Bottle's Revenge. So... lots that we need to talk about, but in this incredibly full week, they also released a new Sea of Thieves video, like a behind-the-scenes thing. Like
kind of a new Sea of Thieves video. It's more of them playing dress-up, more of them just being fancy men.
Oh, don't condescend! Come
I'm
on,
not condescending. I'm just. It's not footage of Sea of Thieves. It's them having some shenanigans behind the scenes.
But you weren't paying attention because there was some footage of Sea of Thieves.
I know, but
there was the deck of a ship, so now we know that the game will feature ship decks.
Yeah, we knew that from day one because I know you're being
but this ship deck had a hatch, and I don't remember seeing a hatch in the ship deck in the E3 trailer.
So hatches are confirmed.
There are hatches, yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Well, that's how season 1 of Lost ended. So, there in the video though, yeah, there was some new concept art that one of the designers, Shelley Preston, behind her workstation was a giant piece of Sea of Thieves concept art that showed what appeared to be the foreground pirate. I'm assuming the player pirate. Had a parrot on his shoulder. One of the things that I think Steph, aka Scrap69, was not able to get out of Captain Bones was whether or not you could have animal companions. I think this sort of confirms that, yeah, you might be able to have a pirate hang out with you. A parrot. Arr! Thank you. There was also it gave us names finally for the two pirate characters that we saw in Rare's sort of behind the scenes of the Xbox Media event video.
Well, you say pirate characters, not characters in the game itself.
Right. The pirate consultants that are working at Rare. Sorry, they're not characters. They're just as real as Captain Bones. Kevin Blackheart and Ralph Deathbeard.
Deathbeard, yeah, I like that name. So who plays these guys? Like which Rare staffers?
I have only known Rare staffers visually since E3, and certainly not well enough to pick them out of a lineup, with the exception of like Adam Park. You know, because he's pretty much like the ubiquitous Rare convention presence.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I can't answer that. But the only good answer I could give you is that of course they're not existing Rare staffers, Hyle. They are Kevin Blackheart and Ralph Deathbeard.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for breaking the illusion, Chad.
That would be a valid apology if there was an illusion to break. You were just confused.
Anyway, this is a cute video. It kind of reminds me
You're
of.
so fucking condescending.
I am not. It's cute. It's
cute.
It's precious.
They did a good job, you know, for a video like this.
It reminds me of our show, honestly, in that you're having a lot of non-actors act.
I thought there was a lot of very capable work done in this thing.
There is, and there's a lot of capable work in our show. It won an Emmy.
Also, Joe Neat has the exact cadence and delivery of Daniel Radcliffe playing Harry Potter when he's standing next to Greg Mayles outside their little mid barn pool thing. Seriously, it's just like coming off as Harry Potter. It's amazing. Anyway, I liked the video. Hyle thought it was cute.
No, I liked it. Adam Park got all wet in it.
He did. There were a couple moments that I really liked. There was Adam Park just being soaking wet. You first see him and he's just inexplicably dripping until you get to him talking about how he gained the courage to outswim a shark. There was the bird rabies, Jack Matsowicz. I hope I'm not butchering that last name.
Oh, it's okay. I once called David Quinn Joe Neat, so it's fine.
That was a horrible mispronunciation, Hyle.
To be fair, I think they look remarkably similar.
All right. Well, I think isn't David Quinn Australian?
Oh, I'm sorry that I saw their visual appearance and I assumed. Look,
all white men don't look the same, Hyle. All right. There are nuances to the way they appear.
Come all without, come all within. You'll not remember anything like the mighty David Quinn.
Well done. I loved the Jack. Let me see if I can. Matsowicz, maybe. Close.
You're butchering it, but
yeah. Anyway, his bird rabies, and then scratching.
Wait! You're not providing any context. Oh, he has bird rabies. That Rare staffer has bird rabies.
He sort of made this seeming non sequitur about getting bird rabies, but then he scratched his face with a bandaged hand, a bloody bandaged hand.
Yeah, because a parrot bit him.
Yeah, I know. I love that it was one of those gags that you're hearing it and they're showing it, but those aren't connected. It's not like, look at my bloody bandaged hand, I got bird rabies. It's texture, and it makes the joke land. That is probably my favorite joke from the piece. Did you have a favorite joke from the piece, Hyle?
I liked that Adam Park was wet. I liked that he committed to that bit.
You remember that we used to try and invite wet Gillian Anderson onto our late night talk show before we you're not going to indulge this at all, are you?
I remember that was a running joke between us that get Gillian Anderson really wet and invite her onto a talk show.
There was this photo shoot of Gillian Anderson.
It sounds horrible.
Yeah, not wet in the way you're thinking. It was just a photo shoot where Gillian Anderson was, for some reason, just like sopping wet, and we thought it was hilarious. And we always talked about.
Yeah, we thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious 3 minutes at a time. Sorry. No, that if we ever we initially before Elvis and Slickmoney were going to do a late night talk show at NTTV, and we were going to
because we have two interests: it's shitty sitcoms and shitty late night talk show.
A lot of the ideas for our late night talk show went into the Elvis and Slickmoney DVD special feature, The Midnight Hours with Dr. Leon, in which he hosted a late night talk show.
Where, whenever you say newspapers, that's where that comes from.
That's where that comes. Yeah, that's me playing a Paul Schaefer type announcer.
Paul Schaefer, Kevin Eubanks hybrid.
Right. So anyway, we were going to just kind of look through the IMDb Rolodex of celebrity contact details and invite everyone, but we also wanted to invite Gillian Anderson with the explicit specification that if she were to appear on the show, she would have to get wet first, because we only want wet Gillian Anderson. We just thought that this photo shoot was bizarre and hilarious. So anyway, that you liked Adam Park being wet.
Yeah, I think we should invite him on a talk show. I think we should get him on the Conversation.
Only if he's wet. Yeah.
Only if he's wet, Adam Park.
Right, that's how he would be credited, and you couldn't tell any difference. Maybe we would add water dropping sound effects to the whole thing, but yep, wet. If Adam Park ever appears in the show, it's going to be as wet Adam Park.
He would have to be sopping wet, and he would have to provide his own water dripping sound effects.
Yeah.
Legitimate. We don't fake shit here on the Conversation.
Please provide your own artificial sound effects. There was one. There were a few screen grab moments.
I don't feel like we're adequately describing what this video is. It's these two guys, and they're pirate consultants. They're dressed as pirates, and the joke is they're making rare employees into a bunch of drunken savages.
So if you've listened to this podcast for the last 1 hour and 52 minutes, just pause the fucking thing and spend 2.5 minutes watching this video.
Yeah, it's on Rare's YouTube channel.
Yeah, youtube.com/u/rareltd. Yeah. So watch it and then come back, and then you'll have context for wet Adam Park. Advanced pirate techniques. There was this circle of supply demand, but it was stab, steal, sell, and then all the way back to stab. So I guess you stab the guy who just sold the stolen goods from. It's just really a murder wheel, isn't it?
It's like Grand Theft Auto. You get a blowjob from a hooker, and then you stab her.
Right. You steal
and then you take the
blowjob.
money back, yeah.
You take the money and go find another hooker. So yeah, it's just facilitating the process of murder, really. This whole cycle.
So I'm guessing the game's going to be rated M if there's a lot of stabbing.
Well, that was just something that these consultants were writing on a wall, but there was also some, I guess, fleeing techniques.
So it was more like the Glengarry Glen Ross,
Yeah, this was the ABC. Yeah,
always be stabbing.
Yeah, theirs was the triple S, because two S's probably would not have been smiled upon. There were these fleeing techniques. One was distraction dancing. One was the old 1-2 run. There was the which you gotta love Scooby-Doo logic. Firing a crewmate from a cannon. Harpooning a shark.
I really hope you can do that in the game.
Firing a crewmate from a cannon.
Yeah,
that would be nice if you run out of shrapnel. You can just stuff a person in.
It would be an effective way to get somebody over to another ship.
This is their pre-Voyager transporter. There's
oh my God, really?
Really. And there was one that was partially obstructed by a guy's head, but it said stealth mode, I think hide in a barrel. I don't know if that was a wink and a nod to Wind Waker, or if that was a completely unique parallel thought, but either way, I thought it was great that they put together all this stuff for little freeze frame gags in a video that really has, I mean, it's not. Is there anyone who would watch this video and be sold on the concept of Sea of Thieves that wasn't already sold? I can't think of that person.
No, this is for the people who have professed anticipation for Sea of Thieves, which, judging by internet response, is mostly people listening to this show.
Well, no, come on. I think that wasn't Sea of Thieves actually trending during E3? I mean,
no. There are people. I'm loath to use this racially loaded term, but there is a silent majority who feel that Sea of Thieves is a good game. But the loudest people are, why aren't you making a new Banjo game? All the good people left in 2002.
Oh, I feel like that
Bazinga.
that Harvey Firestein din has died down a bit, especially with Rare Replay. There are still those people.
Oh, they're still out there. They're still out there, buddy. You're deluding yourself if you think otherwise.
No, I'm not. I said it. They've died down. It's not the pre E3 like rabid nonsense. I think it's the vibe is much more pleasant.
Or even the immediate post E3 reveals. There's a lot of nonsense for up until the release of Rare Replay. And even like a week after that.
Well, I think Sea of Thieves, even for us, it took a little bit of it took that walk from the it took that walk from where was it, USC to the LA Convention Center for it to really sink in with us, Amir and Steve. We were all sort of throwing around it. We were like, so what do you guys think of that?
Four of the biggest Rare fans on the planet had to take a walk and discuss the possibilities, and then we were like, okay,
and
then we had to talk to Greg Mails, and we were like, okay,
right, yeah, we formulated the notion of a giant Royston being a boss. We took it to Greg Mails. He gave us a sly, well, it wouldn't be a Rare game without references answer, and we were sold. Yeah. So it took even us that little bit of time to really let the concept digest. Because we had built ourselves up, as you said, before the show to see a new Banjo. People who aren't thinking about it for dedicated stretches of walking time may still have the knee-jerk, make Banjo kind of thing. But I'm hoping that over time, people will come to see Sea of Thieves as like the logical next direction for Rare.
Yeah, I think people who are only like superficially on the peripheral of Rare and don't realize how ingrained pirate lore is in their games, won't see it. Like they're just expecting something with googly eyes,
All right. One more thing that I noticed from the video, unless there's anything else you would like to to add about this cute little piece that they put on YouTube.
No, I just wish more Rare employees were sopping wet, personally.
There was another piece of concept art on the wall that showed the cove from the trailer that the initial pirate character ran down into. It was the same scene, but with two different weather patterns behind it. One seemed a little more overcast and stormy. So it was pretty obvious that this game would feature changing weather.
Come on.
It's a game in 2015. But
we knew there was going to be day and night, Chad. Did you know?
Yeah. Ooh, cycles. Fucking Night Lore had day-night cycles. but no, it's nice to see that confirmed.
If there are, I'm gonna take a page from Scrap69 here. If there are cycles in the game, does that mean
God.
the ladies on your ship will attract sharks once a month?
What are we expecting the core game to be like, Hyle?
He tweeted that to Captain Bones, Chad.
What did Captain Bones have to say?
He kind of ignored it.
Probably safe.
And then Scraps pressed on.
No, but seriously, what's the Pirates period's gonna be like? Huh, Captain Bones? Seriously, come on, answer me. Scraps is just gonna create a novelty account to ask that one question to Captain Bones now.
Yeah.
So what do you think this? What do you think Sea of Thieves is gonna be like? You got any gum? I'm getting. It's been a 2-hour show. I'm getting a little delirious.
This is the Talk Like a Pirate Day edition. It's got to be a 3-hour tour.
Oh Jesus!
Or
no.
Bust. Okay. Well, we don't really know what the core game's going to be, and it seems weird to be excited. It seems weird to be excited about something that we know so little about. We thought it was going to be an MMO for like 2 weeks there, right? And then Phil Spencer had to just piss all over us and make us wet like Gillian Anderson and Adam Park. And I was like, well, thank you, Phil. Your urine tastes great, actually. But I was just hoping for some confirmation about what the gameplay was going to be like. Anyway, so I think.
So, Hyle, are you saying that this video was directed by R. Kelly?
Yeah, I understand that reference, but I don't know how to yes and that.
All right, that's fine. It's been a long show.
It's been a long time, but yeah, man up. We're not done yet. So, I don't know. Like, we know there's going to be cooperative gameplay, but are you going to be able to play against others or just against the CPU? Like, is it going to be like a set story that you can like have? Is it going to be like a 2-player team only with like 6 or 7 or 8 players?
I don't know. There's literally no way to know. I'm really glad we front-loaded this episode with calls because for Talk Like a Pirate Day, we have very little pirate talk to get through.
There's very little pirate talk to actually say, yeah. No, I mean, part of me thinks, and this is just wild random speculation, and it could probably be disproven if you look at enough interviews, I think it's going to be more of an RPG, like a... something akin to a BioWare game that's not an MMO, but one that you can actually, where the whole RPG party can be played by different players.
Right.
Which would be pretty revolutionary, I think. I don't think that's quite been done, although knowing my gaps of video game knowledge, it probably has been done numerous times.
So you're saying like you would have one person on the helm, one person in the crow's nest, that kind of basically everyone has their role. Yeah.
Like imagine a game like I don't think you ever played Knights of the Old Republic, but imagine that game where all the crew members are actually playable by different people, simultaneously.
So there was a game that I used to play. The place I worked at in Houston, it was a software company filled with fucking nerds, and we had this conference room that had a giant projector view screen and a whole bunch of tables that we could move around. So after work, we all installed this game called Artemis, which is a very stripped down, bare bones, unlicensed Star Trek simulator, basically, and everyone has.
Oh my God!
I know. But the way we did it, which was it's designed to be played online, but we would set up.
Was there ever an episode of Star Trek that took place on a holodeck where there were pirates?
There was the beginning to Star Trek Generations.
Yeah, but they weren't pirates though, were they?
No, not really. Not really.
I was thinking the beginning of Star Trek Generations, but I was like, if he brings that up, I'm gonna drop a bridge on him.
Well, that recollection was fun. Oh my.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, no more Star Trek.
What do you want? Anyway, Artemis was the Star Trek game. No, we're basically like we would plug in the captain's computer and make that the view screen, but the captain didn't touch a computer or they didn't play the game other than to give commands to the tactician station, to security, to helm, to the shield. They basically they would have to ask the science officer, what's this thing coming up here? It was a really cool, navigation. Where are we? And only then could you see a map. But I think that's sort of like what you're describing, just taken to a nerdy extreme.
Yeah. So,
but it was fun. It was a very difficult, frustrating experience, but we gritted our teeth and had fun. Damn it!
Here's why I'm hoping it's less of an MMO, which we know is not going to be exactly like an MMO, and more of an RPG that has co-op play. It's because it will keep it timeless. MMOs have a shelf life, and you reach a certain point where they're unplayable.
Well, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we can't even go back to Conquer Live and Reloaded for those canonical story events. I mean, there's no way to re-experience those.
You can still play them in local multiplayer.
Oh, can you? All of it is in there though, or are there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Never mind.
But I think there might be like achievement. There's achievements and stuff you can't get, and maybe like some unlockables. But it's still local multiplayer. Yeah.
I don't. Did they have achievements back in the original Xbox days? I thought those were a 360 thing.
Maybe you're. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah. Anyway.
There's literally no way to know.
Literally.
There's no way for us to figure this out.
Just like Sasquatch and Who Shot Kennedy, it's going to be lost to the History Channel.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, Sasquatch shot Kennedy.
That would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool. I mean,
he could really book it on that grassy knoll,
Yeah. I mean, we've seen him run.
Actually, Chad, the Sasquatch seen in the Patterson video is more than likely a female if you study the biology and the shape.
You're right, Hyle.
it
I
has
should have
breasts.
noticed the pendulous breasts. But actually, my grandfather, who used to live in the woods of Pennsylvania, like he sort of instilled in me this love of paranormal weird shit. Because, well, the X-Files instilled it in me, but he would indulge because he was also really into UFOs and aliens.
And you dreamed of instilling it in the Wet Gillian Anderson.
What?
You dreamed of instilling it in Wet Gillian Anderson.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Hey, lads. Anyway, he described that female Bigfoot. I had this exact conversation with my grandfather like 15 years ago, and he described her as having pendulous breasts. That Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's a lady.
I will never hear the word pendulous and not think of Bigfoot's tits.
Gets me hard.
What? That was so unnecessary.
All right, so I'm hoping
it gets me hard. That's my catchphrase. I'm Hyle Russell.
T-shirt idea right there. Maybe that could be like boxer briefs or like a banana hammock.
Yeah.
Oh, we should sell banana hammocks.
Well, obviously. I'm surprised the Nintendo Power catalog didn't.
And then they'll all be banana yellow, of course.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, RPG that's with co-op, because I love co-op in a rare game. Like Donkey Kong Country, playing it with Elliot, man, that was fun.
Yeah. I have been, since I got back from vacation, Janelle and I have been playing pretty much exclusively. Well, we've been watching Voyager over the last 12 hours.
Yeah.
We've been watching Voyager and playing this Xbox game called Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime, which is fucking great.
Wasn't that a Doctor Who episode?
Sure was. I don't know. Yes, and it was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why would you just say Matt Smith like that's a punchline? Matt Smith gets me hard. No, anyway, yes, I enjoy co-op gaming. That's all I was going to say.
No, because here's where gaming really turned me off. And actually, I think GoldenEye is partially to blame for this. It all became competitive and blasting your friends away. And I like building something with my friends. I like achieving being a hero with my mates, you know?
Yeah.
And that's exciting to me. And it's a shame that co-op gameplay hasn't become bigger. It's starting to gain a lot more traction with the advent of online multiplayer. But it would be really cool to get back to that.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of it that we just haven't been into because we really
there's no Donkey Kong.
Because there's no Donkey Kong. Well, no, we have never really gotten into the MMO world, but the sort of interaction you're describing is literally most of what makes those games fun, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's been around for over a decade.
I mean, to be fair, you can also be a complete dick in MMOs and fight other people. I would rather just fight the computer. Like, I don't want to have that toxic element in my game. I want it to be completely cooperative. And I'm sure in Sea of Thieves you can turn against your crewmates, make them, walk the plank, as we saw in the trailer. That's just something you can do in the game. In the sandbox, it is the game. But, I would like it if you all want to work together, you can. And you don't have to have those elements.
Did you ever play the game Journey?
Journey.
It was like, it took place in a desert, and you're this little person that wears a scarf, and you probably not, if it's not ringing a bell. Incredible game from about 4 or 5 years ago. It's relevant to this conversation, but I don't want to spoil why, because you really should make an effort to play Journey. It's fucking great. And it's only about an hour and a half, 2 hour experience. So
wow, okay. So short Journey.
It's a short journey, but a very fulfilling one. And its soundtrack won a Grammy, I think. It was like the first video game to win an award like that. So,
if it only takes 2 hours in a desert, I'm guessing they die of exposure and dehydration.
Oh, that would be telling. Spoilers.
The creepiest thing.
I was trying to do a river song, but it came out like a pirate.
I honestly had to stop. I was like watching all the Doctor Who seasons. I think I was broken in early season 7 of Doctor Who. I just couldn't take it anymore. Like it was just like Matt Smith and River Song, and the whole thing was just so toxic and annoying.
Hello, sweetie.
I was just like, oh god, I'm done with this. And I'm watching the Capaldi episodes, and most of them. Capaldi's an enjoyable Doctor. So
giant moon egg notwithstanding, it's
the fucking
a lot.
Moon egg.
It's a lot more palatable.
Yeah, the moon egg and the tree episode can go fuck themselves. But other than that, yeah, Listen. I think the episode was Listen. That was a great episode.
Okay. And is it was the tree episode somehow distinct from the Christmas episode where the trees were like holding all of Christmas spirit or something? There's another like environmental.
Oh yeah, no. This one took place on Earth, and it was about. Just don't watch it. It's awful.
Okay.
There's a solar flare, and trees magically grow up on Earth. And anyway, so
I've already not watched it.
Fantastic.
On your recommendation,
watch the episode. Listen, no, it's worth your time. It's moody, it's trippy, it's psychedelic, it's weird, but it's like the best episode of Doctor Who in years. Anyway,
cool.
So, any other features you like to see in Sea of Thieves?
Not until I know more about what the game is. I'm letting them show it. You know, I'm going to let them sort of make the game they want, and I'll see what it is when it's ready to be seen. I'm just really looking forward to it because it's sort of like the way that, you know, you follow certain artists, and certainly we follow Rare, but especially at Rare we follow the output of Greg Mayles and
Greg Mayles, and I'm sorry I didn't get to say this to his face. Greg Mayles, I consider him to be the Western Miyamoto. I think he's that damn good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the games and the variation in the games, and also the fact that he's been doing it perhaps not as long as Miyamoto, but he's not at the stage where it feels like Miyamoto is, where he's sort of kind of phoning it in a little bit. And we talked about this at our E3 episode,
where he's just kind of like kicking up his feet, and like he walks into the room and he's like, oh. Have him blow on something, and then he walks out. You know,
the tea table turning that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's Miyamoto. We better do what he says.
Right. I feel like Greg Mayles still has a lot to say, and granted, his output hasn't been as voluminous as Miyamoto, but I feel like you get more bang for your buck. I hate to say that because I don't want to turn it into a comparison because obviously Miyamoto's the great innovator.
You don't want to turn it into a comparison when calling him the Western Miyamoto.
I don't mean I'm not saying one's better than the other because they each have their pluses and their minuses, but you know.
What are Greg Mayles' minuses, Hyle? Let's detail them.
Well, he hasn't been wet on a video yet, that's for sure.
Make it happen, Rare. Next video, we want to see Greg Mayles soaking wet.
I mean, remember that famous video of Miyamoto in his garden? And he had the hose and he just started pouring it all over himself.
But maybe that hose was actually a portal to another dimension where he was a warrior with a hose. Yeah.
Oh, so speaking of making the game, what were you saying besides Greg Mayles? You started to say something like Greg Mayles. You just trusting Greg Mayles?
You just you have these sort of people like there are certain makers of television content. Like I will always now give Matt Groening and or David Cohen the benefit of the doubt.
Really? Even Groening?
Yes, even Groening. Obviously, are you telling me you wouldn't give a new Matt Groening show at least a season?
I would give it an episode, maybe half of an episode.
Boo! You have no loyalty, man. Are you kidding me? You would give one episode for 9 years of high quality. Okay.
Yeah,
and then
17, and then 17 seasons after that.
That's because that's really Fox not letting the show die. Let's be honest.
Okay,
it's a cash cow. Look, all right, maybe a bad example. The point I was trying to make was,
what about Aaron Sorkin? I love The West Wing. Let's see what else he did. Oh no!
Well, obviously, it's possible for people to abuse that trust and get off that list. But Greg Mayles is on that list for me, where I will give him many benefits of the doubt before I turn my nose up at anything he makes. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, I agree. I mean, Greg Mayles has always produced top-notch content, and good fucking Lord, look at what he's done for our lives. DKC, DKC2, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Grab by the Ghoulies.
Right. And by the way, let's also, while I think that Greg deserves a fuckload more attention and accolades than he specifically gets, games are definitely a team affair. And,
look, yeah, I'm not.
He's not the only one designing. He is certainly like the lead designer on those games, but.
We single him out because he's the pirate enthusiast, and it's easy to say, "Oh, Sea of Thieves is his baby," and in many ways it is, but it's also a team effort, and it becomes a shared baby, cut in many little pieces.
That's right, because really, that's the best way to enjoy a baby.
Look, we got a few more things before we wrap up. There's an interesting reveal on Twitter recently. They're using Unreal 4 to make the game.
Yeah, we knew about that.
Did we?
Yeah. At E3 they said that. They said they're using the Unreal Engine. That the only thing is, I don't know what that means.
Well, there's an engine, Chad, and it's Unreal 4, and they're using that to make the game.
No. I don't know. I mean, I know obviously what the Unreal Engine is. I don't know what that means for the game. Like, obviously, they don't want to spend a lot of time and extensive development on building their own internal tools. They're using one that exists and augmenting it. That to me, that it's sort of like what Playtonic is doing with Unity. They're using pre-made tools so they can focus on the creative bits.
But obviously, this isn't the first time Rear's done it, but it's still relatively new for them, considering we're used to just them making their engines from the ground up. And I think this is a great time saver.
Right. The interesting thing, though, is that on Twitter, Greg sort of suggested there was a very specific reason that they would be doing this, and all he would be is coy about it. So we don't quite know exactly what that is.
Maybe there's going to be koi in the game. The fish.
That's a fish. Yeah. Apparently. At least his name on Twitter, Andrew Dennison is...
he's a denizen of Twitter.
Right. He's the software director on Sea of Thieves. So this is a guy who, if anyone made a decision about, what technical infrastructure will be used, it was this guy. And basically Greg was saying there's a very good reason why he did this, but we can't say why now. So I don't know if it has something to do with the Unreal Engine's Xbox Live support, or I don't know. I wish we knew the advantages of using the Unreal Engine, because maybe it would give us a bit of insight into the game, but alas, we do not.
Maybe if we had done some research before recording this episode, we could have come up with some wonderful hypotheses. But
and not just rape jokes
and plugs for Casa Bonita and Little Caesars.
I don't think we plug Little Caesars.
Oh, you'll need a plug after you eat Little Caesars because of the anal leakage.
Thanks for explaining that.
So, starting to wrap it up here.
For the love of God.
It's Talk Like a Pirate Day. It comes but once a year, Chad.
What do you reckon on Captain Black Eye?
Captain Black Eye. Well, he's definitely going to be in the game.
Yeah. I know that.
I don't know what we can say, what we can't say, what we've ascertained, and what we haven't.
Well, let's say this: we have not gotten any official confirmation or deconfirmation of Captain Black Eye's status in the game.
Yeah.
Nor have we gotten an unofficial of that. We haven't heard. All we're doing is reading tea leaves, but we're pretty fucking sure Captain Black Eye's in the game.
Yeah, I can't really get into any more specifics than that, really.
Which is not suggestive of any knowledge that we have. It's suggestive of tea leaves that we've been given access to.
Well, we kind of figured out how some things might have happened.
Right.
We can't get into that.
We just have a few more pieces of this is he or isn't he in the game puzzle than the general populace, and we can't really talk too much about those puzzle pieces.
Right, that's what I'm trying to get to, yeah. So,
But we don't have the full picture. We can just say that with the pieces we have, we're pretty sure the ultimate picture has Captain Blackeye in it.
Yeah. So famous for us, Banjo-Tooie character Captain Blackeye, more than likely in the game, and so this does raise some interesting questions, though, because so everything we've seen of Sea of Thieves, it seems to take place as a historical piece during the golden age of piracy, which would be the 1650s to the 1730s.
Oh, did you look this up?
Oh, I did. I actually did research for the. Well, I've had to do research for the golden age of piracy quite a bit, running DK Vine, co-running DK Vine over the years. So, yeah, that's.
Thanks for correcting that, by the way.
You're welcome, buddy.
Co-running. Yes, of course. It's a collaboration, much like making a video game. Co-running.
Yeah, yes, that's right. As far as all golden age of piracy related references go, though, I'm pretty much the expert there. So. Yeah,
I'll give you that.
All right. So, granted, we don't know it takes place during this era because the thing about Rare Pirates are they've always been archaic throwbacks. So, do you think this game is going to take place in that era, that period of 80 years or so?
If it does, and it includes Captain Blackeye, as we're pretty sure that it will, that means that we get to do a bit of fun fan wanking to make it make sense. Basically, I think that if the game were to take place in a bubble, even if it's if it's in the Caribbean, then
but even then, you can kind of just. Personally, I'm hoping they never address the year, and it can just be this kind of timeless kind of era where, it looks old-fashioned. It looks like it might be, the 1680s or whatever, but they never really address it. So that way we can just kind of hand wave it away and be like,
Yeah. Well, if they go to Haiti, there's really not going to be any difference.
Please donate to Haitian earthquake relief.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Sorry. I'm running out of steam.
That's okay. You're like a candidate, one of the 11 candidates on stage at a debate. By the time hour 3 rolls around, you're just going to say some terrible things.
I'm really just hoping one of my handlers comes out and drags me off the stage at this point, because that means I can take off this suit and put my feet up and by
the time you start saying we should bring back internment camps, that's when you know the debate's gone on for too long.
Wait, did that happen?
No. I'm just speculating. Much like my Sea of Thieves speculation, I'm just hypothesizing that's going to happen eventually.
See, I know that there was a Republican debate while I was on vacation, and the nature of the Republican field right now made that statement as potentially having happened.
Oh, it's going to happen. I will bet you 5 hard American dollars, Chad, that's going to happen.
The sad thing, I'm sure that would be coming out of Donald Trump's mouth, and judging by his poll numbers, it might actually be a popular opinion.
So anyway, if moving on from politics, because that's a divisive issue.
The conversation is about inclusion.
It's about inclusion. It's like Colbert's Late Show. We're putting aside partisanship, and we're hearing what the other side has to say.
Yeah, we're going to listen to Jeb Bush, do a campaign stump speech tap dance, and listen to Joe Biden be an actual honest to God human being. But there's no politics here.
No politics. So, I think if Captain Blackeye is in this and it's confirmed to take place in the Golden Age of piracy, there's no way we can work around that date. Because I think that's what I'd do first, is see if is there any way this can take place in the modern era.
Right.
And if this is just the weird band of pirates that exists in the Rare Archipelago, Because I honestly don't even know if they would have the Caribbean. I think they would have fictitious locales in the game. That's more Rare's MO.
Right. Well, there was a piece of there was a map that was called I think Pirate Haven or Pirate Refuge that we saw in the video. That was another piece of background art. Yeah, it was Pirate Refuge, I want to say. So yeah, that suggests that the locations are going to be uniquely named or at least given sort of generic labels, if not given outright names.
And I think there's more world building you can do as a result. So I'm not too worried about it, but. If that does come to pass, then yeah, Captain Black Eye found the key to immortality. He found the fountain of youth, like the conquistadors were rumored to have done.
Yeah, and K. Rool almost found.
That's true.
in Diddy Kong, in the canceled Diddy Kong pilot build.
In the sadly non-canonical Diddy Kong pilot, yeah.
K. Rool and the search for El Dorado.
Jesus Christ.
What a fucking weird fever dream of a game that was.
Now, as Greg Mails did tell us to our face, it wouldn't be a Rare game without references. And yes, he could have been referring to just Captain Black Eye. But Chad, as we wrap up this Talk Like a Pirate Day edition of the Kongversation, what other Donkey Kong Universe references do you think will crop up? Now, this could be physical character appearances. This could be DK rappers. I don't know, singing sea shanties from across the way. It could be just Easter eggs. What do you think? What else do you think we'll see? Because
I would really just like to see Easter eggs. I think it'd be really cool to see sort of tongue-in-cheek versions of islands that there have been in the past games. Like, it would be cool to see an Isle of Hags, an island that's not the Isle of Hags that maybe has a similar geographic footprint.
Or hell, if this does take place, 300 to 400 years ago, it would be cool if they don't spell it out, but it's the Isle of Hags in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, the fabled Jinjo Island. No one goes near there. Yeah, I guess, yeah, because it'd be cool. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm just, here's the thing. Like, I don't even want to theorize too much about it because...
But that's the fun part, Chad.
I know. We used to have speculation centers and all that.
That's what this is. This is just a giant speculation center filled with a lot of more unnecessary chatter.
The thing is, I just don't know that we have enough to even speculate on yet, other than pirates and islands and first-person view.
And stabbing, Chad. There's a lot of stabbing.
Well, there's alleged stabbing. Maybe the pirate consultant stab. I don't know about maybe you just have to sort of point people in the side to get them to walk the plank. I don't know. I don't know how pirate combat works in this game.
Maybe it's just all rape.
Oh, Jesus.
This has been a File 2 production.
Que rico.